Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents a special presentation of Inside Pitch. The 1976 demo game is on the air. Okay, why am I doing this? I have done a number of seasons so far. Of course, we ended 1988 recently, 1961, 1979, 1981, 1985, 1976, and of course, and the 1994 restart that was done by Payoff Pitch. But I did demo games for every single season except for two. I did not do a demo game for the 76 year or for the 85 year. So since I kind of like having my playlists kind of uniform, I thought I would go ahead and do a couple of demo games here during the off season. I know a lot of people here have been asking me to do some streaming since I've taken about 3 weeks off due to one of them, of course, a week in New York, which I thoroughly had a great time out there. But I had some people saying, Rob, you need to stream. And actually one of them is in the chat. Beatles Eternally, Brian B. are first to join us here at Riverfront Stadium as this 1976 demo game gets on. Tracy Meehan and Brian Patterson now join us here. Beatles Eternally, In My Life, I Love You More. That counts. I just gotta say for everybody, I want to thank everyone for everyone's well wishes and everything while I was taking the off season, completing the 1988 season. And of course, 2016 is next, and that will be starting on July 3rd. I will have a 2016 demo game on June 25th. But because I did not do a demo games for the 76 and the 85 seasons, I figured, well, let me go ahead and do a demo game for those two and put the 76 demo game into the 76 playlist and the 85 demo game into the 85 playlist. You guys do know that I will be using the World Series teams from that year, not the World Series teams from the replay. Of course, if you know, in my 1976 replay, the Philadelphia Phillies won that World Series, and in the 1985 replay, the Houston Astros won that World Series. But we're going to use, of course, the historical teams from that actual season. It's an exhibition game. I am only utilizing players that came with the main set. So as you can see, all the Yankee players and such from 76. No 25-man roster or anything like that. It's exhibition. Everybody's available, whatever, but we will be following the rules, of course, of the game itself. So it's a slow motion game, as everybody, so there are some people that say, how does this work? How does that work? And how to play the game. I can actually show some of the differences of this game compared to other great games such as Stratomatic, APA, Fall Classic, But this is just a demonstration game. I'm not here to teach. I'm really not here to teach it, but I can answer some questions in the chat for anybody that wants to ask any questions concerning how the game runs and how it works. Inside Pitch, of course, the reason why I like the game so much, to me, it's the most exciting game you can play on the tabletop. Chris Davis is the creator of Inside Pitch Baseball. Lots of seasons are available. He is making more as we speak. He is trying to finish the 90s and the 2000s right now before he decides to maybe go into different projects. So if anybody wants to order a copy of Inside Pitch Baseball, the link's in my description, of course, for you guys to go ahead and check it out. He has the best customer service anywhere. If anybody gets any cards that are kind of messed up, not talking ratings, I'm talking like maybe colors misdone or the card itself doesn't look correctly, email him a picture of the card and usually sends a replacement. If it's a printed version, if it's a PDF, he'll go ahead and take care of that as well. Okay, there is nobody that has better customer service to me than Chris Davis of Inside Pitch. The only guy second that's probably close enough to him is Joe Bryan of Payoff Pitch, and I will give kudos to Joe Bryan, as Payoff Pitch again is still one of my favorite games. After further review with Steve Tower, please check out that guy's amazing channel. He is an expert in what he does, and Joe Turney joins us. So as I said, this is an exhibition game. Um, and I'm here to go ahead, throw the game, slowly. Now, the one thing a lot of people have been asking about is how I create this runner advancement card that I do have for every game. I kind of cheat a little bit, but I'll show you exactly how I do it. As a lot of people still have still have issues rounding the base running mechanics of inside pitch. It does have a bit of a learning curve, yes, but the base running mechanics to me is the most realistic of any baseball game that is out there because it is not automatically set in stone where the ball is hit. Brandon Baker joins us here for some Reds baseball. Yes, Reds baseball is on the air. So for the 1976 demo game, we will use the World Series team. It is the New York Yankees taking on the Cincinnati Reds. And this game will be played at Riverfront Stadium since the Reds did win the World Series in 76. So they get the home field advantage for a ball game. Then the first thing we got to do here is create this runner advancement card. Now, some people use it. Some people don't have to, but this is how we do it. Let's start with the New York Yankees. The runner advancement card I've created here. This is what I create. This is my own creation. It doesn't come with the game. Where the singles and the outfield, singles and doubles, and where the runner would be. And I use this to determine who's in the field at the time. I have the Yankees and I have Cincinnati here. So let's show you how we do it. So let's first find out what we get for single to left. Now, the hard way is this. A single to left, you go to the chart here for runner advancement mod, and you'll see a single to left from first to third is automatically a -2 modifier. The left fielder for the New York Yankees I have in this game, okay, is going to be Lou Piniella. Lou Piniella is the left fielder I'm using for the Yankees in this game. These are my own. I've created my own lineups utilizing Baseball Reference as a reference. And Lou Piniella has a +1 arm rating. So you take the 1 to 3. If it's hit to left, it's a -2, but it's a +1. So you automatically know that any hit to left field off the chart is going to be a -1. So you're going to put here -1 there on the card. Okay. On a ball hit to left field, the runner from first to third will have his base running rating subtracted by 1 automatically, and that's all you got to do. Center field, on the center field chart, you have first to third is -1 on the center field chart. So the center fielder I'm using for this game is, of course, Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers has a 0 modifier there for his arm. So you already know that -1, it's going to be that because there's no modifier. So it's going to be -1 on a ball hit from first to third for the runner to get from first to third, a -1 here. Okay. Then we have the right fielder. The right fielder chart, 1 to 3, first to third, right field is a +2. So a +2. The right fielder I'm using for this game is Roy White. I've decided to put Roy White in right field, and he has a -1 arm already here for right field. So you already know it's a +2, but -1 makes it a +1. So you know that to get from first to third, it's going to be the base running ratings. The base running ratings on the card here, like a base running rating of 4. To get from first to third will be a +1, so he will have a 5 to get there. Okay? So that is how you figure that. So that is how, okay, that is the long way of doing this. Now I'm going to show you the short way. I created another chart for me. This is this is what I call a cheating chart. As you can see here on this, I've created left field, center field, and right field. And all I have to do is just get the outfielder arm and then just put it in. So for those of you who want to maybe make it quick to make a card like this, just create something like this, okay, which I use. And like for instance, now let's take a look at center field. Center field, get the second to home. Okay. But let's finish with the left fielders first. My bad. So on S7 and D7, okay, and we said the left fielder was Piniella. He had a +1. So here I go right here, okay, to the +1 section, and I got -1, plus 2, 0. So all I got to do is -1 plus 2, 0. Center fielder was Rivers. He had a 0 arm. So we go to 0 here, and it's -1 plus 2 plus 1. Plus 2 plus 1. And then right field, we had Roy White, who's a -1. So it's +1, 0, -2. And that's it. That's all you got to do. So just if you have something like this, all you need is the outfielder arm, and then just go across. The Cincinnati Reds, we have Foster in left field. He is a -1, so he's going to be -3, 0, and -2. Center fielder we have is Cesar Geronimo. He has a 0 arm, so we check the center field 0, so -1 plus 2 plus 1. Plus 1. And in right field, we have Ken Griffey, who's a +1, and he's a +1, so we go to the right fielder +1, so +3 plus 2, 0. And that's all. And of course, I'm using a dry erase marker for this kind of card. And if we need to make a mistake, so let's say like here's mine. Let's say this didn't come out through clearly enough, so I can like just take something like that, wipe it across. Or if I want to make a change in the outfield, so let's see. So center field was Rivers. He was a 0. So he was a 0. So make it a little clearer. So -1 plus 2 plus 1. So if you make a change in the outfield, all you got to really do is just wipe it out. Okay, just wipe it out and just write in the new numbers just off the chart right then and there. That's all you got to do. I'm also thinking of making it even neater, where possibly I use instead of writing it in, I can maybe just make some copies of this and maybe just throw them in there. I'm working on something different for it. So that is how you create this runner advancement card of my own creation. If you guys want to go ahead and make something like that to make it easier. So all you have to do is if it's a ball hit to left field, you'll just look at the base running rating of the outfielder. So if his base running rating is a 3 and the outfielder has a -1 arm, so you go, okay, so it's 3. So you're going to 3, and it'll get on a single to left, it's a -1. So all you got to do is roll a 2. -1 gives you a 2. And that's all you got to do. So this is how you create the runner advancement card. And I use this little pawn to tell me who's in the field. Okay. So if the Yankees are up, I would have it down here so I know to check this section of the card. And if the Reds are up, I move this up here to say the Yankees are in the field. Or you could switch it either way. Whatever you'd like to do, which makes it easy for you, of course. So that is how you create the runner advancement card. Okay, as I said, it doesn't come with the game. Obviously, it's my own creation. It makes doing the calculations a lot faster if you wish. Okay, where a lot of people have a lot of issues with the base running mechanics, which they say is what turns people off from this game. The thing about it is the base running mechanics of inside pitch can be a little of a learning curve or a little bit high. But in my opinion, it's the most realistic of anything. It's not an automatic 1 base, an automatic 2 base, an automatic 3 base. You got to have a runner that can actually make the speed. So if you got a runner that's mud on first base and the ball is hit to the outfield where a guy's got a pretty good arm, there's no way that runner's going to get to third. Okay, unless it's by error or by something else. Oh, you went to the Indy 500 there, Brandon. I watched it. I always watch the Indianapolis 500 every year. Yes, it was fantastic. Congratulations to Newgarden, who won won that race. Congratulations. So without further ado, that's how you create the card. I just spent 15 minutes on that. So now we can go ahead and get to the game. So we're going to do the Yankees and the Reds here for 1976 here at Riverfront Stadium. And how I create I just make simple score sheet. This is how my score sheet is written. I don't keep really stats, but I have your innings and all that stuff here. Here's the players, and I already have the range play, the error rating, and the arm ratings in here. All set and ready to go. That's how I do it. It's just simple for me, and of course I go down. Go down the marks there instead of using innings. It's a lot easier. That's how I just make it. It's a simple score sheet. I don't need to create anything special, since I don't keep the stats and whatever. So, yeah, it would be not. I mean, Beetle. I mean, Chris could implement the idea. It's up to him if he like to. But remember, the thing about it, if you look at, you see, well, I'll make it easy. Here is the inside pitch rule book right here for version 3, and it actually has the information you require in the rule book. And the rule book is he did a very nice job on his version 3 rules. But if you look at his field, which he has provided here, because he has a new baseball field that comes with the game. Here is all his information right here. If you were to actually use this instead of this kind of setup, and you want to use his setup, all his information is really all here. So he does give you the information you want here: first to third, second to home, second to third. It really is all here on his new field for version 3. It's here. So, and of course, he also gives extra stuff and whatever. So it is actually all here. So he does actually implement it in a way, for people to play. Not many people use fields and, stuff that comes with the game. Not many people do. So it's just there. Steeler fan joins us here. Steeler fan. Good to see you, Matt. So let's play some baseball, shall we? Starting pitcher for the Reds is going to be Pat Zachry. In my opinion, he was the ace of the Reds in 1976. 14 wins, 7 losses, a 2.74 ERA. And yes, I had to break out the 76 and 85 cards again from my storage since of course those seasons have already been done. But so Pat Zachry gets the start here. And of course, the first thing you always do is roll off the pitcher card and then the batter card. So let's get started. Let's go to the top of the first inning. And leading off for the Yankees will be center fielder Mickey Rivers. He had a .312 average, 8 homers, and 67 RBIs in 1976. And by the way, happy Memorial Day to all of you people. And of course, before I actually roll the first pitch, this is Memorial Day, so I'm going to give a 10-second moment of silence for the soldiers and for everyone who sacrificed and gave their lives so that America could have the freedom it has now from all the wars, from the American Revolutionary War to the wars of today. Okay. I will give a 10-second moment of silence to honor those who passed and sacrificed their lives. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started. As you know, the first roll of the dice is off the pitcher card, and then you go to the batter card necessary. We're going to use red, white, and white dice. The Reds are the home team, so we're going to use their home colors. Rick Query is here right now, along with, it's here, of course, as well. So let's see how we go. So the first roll, of course, roll of the dice, and that is a 5-3, and we go to the pitcher card first. The 5-3 comes up as a W, which is a walk chance. We then go to Mickey Rivers' card, and against a righty, he has a 7. Riverfront Stadium does add 1 to strikeouts and 1 to walks and nothing to home runs. So you add 1 from the walk rating, which will make this an 8. You then check the roll, and that is a 9. So he does not walk Mickey Rivers. So because there is no walk, we then roll again on the batter card. The batter card is a 4-6, and that is an S7. So Mickey Rivers leads off the game with a base hit to left field. S7 is single to left. So Mickey Rivers will lead off with a base hit. Now comes the strategy roll. And we'll get to that in 1 second. Next batter for the Yankees is going to be Roy White. I have him in right field for this game. A .286 average, 14 homers, 65 RBIs. Mickey Rivers, and the infield is going to go to double play depth. Mickey Rivers has a stolen base rating attempt of a 7. Pat Zachry subtracts 1 from that, making it a 6. So a 6 is required in order for Rivers to get the jump. Now, Mickey Rivers, we go to the strategy roll. Now, here's how the strategy roll works. Steal attempt equals attempt versus hold. So it's at 7 minus 1 is 6. Hit and run. The hit and run can come up. Roy White is a 7 strikeout. I found out you do not include the stadium modifier for the hit and run chance. You can if you want, I guess. But Chris says you do not use the stadium modifier for strikeout chances when determining a hit and run. Roy White strikes out as a 7, and you go to the hit and run chart, which is 5 to 8 plus, and that adds +3. So it would be a 1 to 6 for Rivers to try to steal. A 7, 8, or 9, a hit and run is available. Anything from 10. Anything, then of course we look at Roy White's bunt rating, which is a 5, and he's very, very good bunter. So the bunt rating is a 16. So anything from 10 to 15, there would be no play. A 16 to 19, you would bunt. You would automatically bunt here, okay? Since he's a regular, since he is a regular player. The strategy role to me is suggested to be I use it as a bench coach. It does tell me that a steal is available, that a hit and run is available, or a bunt is available. Some people like to play it hard and fast. The problem with that is it would come up in a situation that you would really not do it. Okay, so let's see what the strategy roll is. The strategy roll, you roll a D20, and it comes up a 9. So actually the hit and run does come up available for Roy White. And why not? Let's do it. So a hit and run's available because Rivers has a very good stolen base rating. So if White happens to strike out, Rivers has got a still good chance to get to second base. So let's go ahead and do a hit and run for Mickey Rivers. So in a hit and run, all ground ball double play ratings get a -2. All base running ratings get a +2. Home run and walk rates for the batter are cut in half. Lineouts are automatic double plays. And if the batter strikes out, you resolve the play like a steal, -2. So let's try a hit and run. Why not? So Zachry is going to go ahead and make the pitch. And that is a 1-5. A 1-5, and we have a split chance. Roy White is a switch hitter. And against the righty, he will be batting from the left side. So you go to the left side of this column. And that is a double star, which means that's going to be an automatic out. It's going to be an automatic out automatically. So we then go to Pat Zachary's line. We will re-roll the die again, and that is a 6, and that becomes an F9 on his star line chart, and that is a fly out to right. So Roy White tried to go for a hit and run, got a little under it, and that's going to be a fly ball to right. And of course, Mickey Rivers will have to go back to first on a fly out, as he will not attempt to go to second, obviously. So there is one down, and we'll go ahead and keep the infield at double play depth. The next batter is the catcher, Thurman Munson. May he rest in peace. Would be in the Hall of Fame if he did not pass away so quickly. Munson had a very good year in 1976, a 302 average, 17 homers, and 105 RBIs. We then again roll the strategy roll for Rivers. And that comes up in 11. This time there's no play, so now we just go straight to Pat Zachary's card. Zachry, that is a 2-6, and this becomes a K with a W in parentheses. If the pitcher is tired, the parentheses, okay, come into play. Pat Zachry, of course, is not tired. He is fresh. So if it was tired, you would go a walk chance, but in this case, it is a strikeout chance. Thurman Munson against righties is a 4. +1 is a 5. That is a 2. He struck him out. You check that, and that is going to be the first strikeout for Pat Zachry on Thurman Munson, and that will be out number 2. If he was tired, you would have went off the walk chance to see if he would have walked instead. And then, of course, there's an optional rule that's stating when a pitcher is tired, a roll on the parentheses automatically exhausts him, and he is removed. That is an optional rule that I do follow. So with 2 outs now, to bring up the first baseman, Chris Chambliss, who also had a good year. The 76 Yankees were pretty good. 293 average, 17 homers, 96 RBIs. That was a good baseball team, of course, getting to the 76 World Series, but they got swept by the Reds historically. So then we'll go ahead and re-roll the strat, and that is an 11. So again, Mickey Rivers will have to stay at first. So Zachry will roll. And that is a 1-5. Again, it comes up the same thing. Against the righty, a walk chance. Against the lefty, it's an out. Chambliss is a lefty. That's going to be an out. You re-roll the star line. That is a 2. And Chambliss with a fly ball to center field. And getting over there will be Cesar Geronimo. And he will make the catch and retire the side. So no runs a hit for the Yankees in the beginning of this demonstration game. And we go to the bottom of the first. As Legend Sports Universe, Bob's Tabletop Sports, and Ronald Spersky join us here at Riverfront Stadium for a demo game. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Yankees had a few better pitchers available, like Ed Figueroa is actually a better pitcher, but because this was a demonstration game, I really wanted to use as many great players and Hall of Famers I could think of. Well, why not Jim Catfish Hunter? 17 wins, 15 losses, a 3.53 ERA. He had 173 strikeouts, 63 walks. So Catfish Hunter I gave Hunter the call for this demonstration game against the Reds here at Riverfront Stadium. We are at the National League ballpark, so the pitchers are batting. And that means that I am using my generic pitchers hitting cards, which I've created of my own, okay, for that reason. Although maybe he may swing once or maybe swing once just so I can show you it all. So let's go to the bottom of the first. As Baseball Demos with the Demos joins us here at Riverfront Stadium. He's doing an excellent game of the week, 2022 Yankees replay. And I'm glad he's also doing baseball. Dave, I'm very happy you're doing a baseball replay too. That's terrific. I always want to pull the trigger on that game. I guess I'm just waiting for them to release the 1986 season. And then maybe I'll pick up a copy of Replay Baseball. So the bottom of the first inning, leading off, of course, is, well, the third baseman, Mr. Peter Rose. He had a 3.23 average, 10 homers, and 63 RBIs. So Pete Rose will lead off for the Reds here in the bottom of the first inning. Chris needs to create 1993 soon. He will. 1993, he will do. He is working. Remember, he's doing the 90s right now. And I know he wants to get the 2000s in as well. I wouldn't be surprised if 93 and 97 are the next 2 seasons he does. I don't know. He's not told me anything, and he doesn't have to tell me anything. So Hunter will pitch to Rose here, so let's see how it goes in the bottom of the first. 1-2. So 1-2 on Jim Hunter's card, and I always use the darker dice for the top and the white die for the side. A 1-2, it becomes a blank. So there's nothing on Hunter's card, so we will then go to Pete Rose's card, so automatically goes to the batter. Rose is a 3-1, and Pete Rose, a 3-1 is an S6. That is a single past the shortstop, and Rose will get the first on a leadoff base hit for him. Chris created new 1976 Geronimo card as well. The one thing I'm not going to complain about here in the game is the ratings. I'm not going to knock the ratings here. So please, if you could, please do not knock the ratings of the game. This is what he rated him at, and I really don't want to hear about the ratings. I know a lot. Every game, as I said to Baseball the Demos, every game engine has its caveats. I'm not here to complain about the system. I'm just here to show you how the game works. So, you can always homebrew your ratings as well. That's fine. Okay. I'm not here to knock the ratings of anything that he does or the cookie cutter traits of the cards, whatever. This is a system he uses. This, in my opinion, is still the best engine there is out there because it's the most exciting engine there is. So Rose is on first. So the Yankees will go to double play depth. And again, we roll a strategy roll. The next batter for the Reds is going to be right fielder Ken Griffey. He had a very good year in 76, a 3.36 average, 6 homers, and 74 RBIs. We do roll for Pete Rose. His attempt rating is a 1, but Jim Hunter had a few issues holding base runners, so he has a +2. So a +1. So a 2, it would be a steal attempt. Ken Griffey has an 8 for his strikeouts. So the hit and run attempt would be a +3. So a 1 or 2, a steal attempt. A 3, 4, or 5, a hit and run try. And Ken Griffey has a bunt rating of 1, which means he's not going to bunt. Now, of course, if a 20 is rolled, the pitcher has a chance for a pickoff or of course, a balk can come up as well. That is a 20, as we say so. So now a 20 comes up. So Jim Hunter actually has a chance to pick off Pete Rose. He has a 1 to 3 pickoff rating to get him up, and a 4 is a pickoff error. So you re-roll. So he throws to first to get Rose, and he does not get him. So it's an 18, so Rose will get back to plate, go back to the first base, and now Hunter will concentrate on the batter. You only need to roll a strategy roll once per position change. What if I pitched to the batter's card on a 1, 2, or 3, and pitcher's card 4, 5, 6, and again, what game company would do something like that? Oh, I don't know what game that you're talking about, baseball demos. I don't know who you're talking about. Jim Hunter, a 1-4. Now that comes up as a home run question mark. This means that Hunter may have thrown the ball over the plate. You now check the home run question mark section, which is this area here. Ken Griffey is a lefty. A 1-7 against the left-handed batter. This is a pitch thrown right in his wheelhouse. You then check the D20, and it is a 2. So we did. So we threw it right over the plate. Ken Griffey against the righty needs a 6. So now you're going to roll the D20 again. Okay, and there's no adjustments from the stadium card. So Ken Griffey needs a 6. So you roll the D20 again. A 1-6 against the righty. Griffey just sent this ball to Mars. It is a 10. He does not. So although Hunter pitched it right over the plate, Griffey did not get all the wood on it. So now you re-roll on the batter's card to see what it is. And that is a 5-5. And that is going to be an F8, which is a fly ball to center field. So Griffey, it was thrown right over the plate, but Griffey got under it. And he sends it right to Rivers, who makes the catch in center field for the out. So now 1 down, and that'll bring up Hall of Famer, second baseman, Joe Morgan. Absolutely. 320 average, 27 homers, 111 RBIs, and 76. He had a very good year. That's actually an excellent year, really, for the Hall of Famer. Absolutely. So we keep it at double play depth. And again, we roll a strategy roll. So 1 + 1 is a 2. So a 1-2 could be a steal, 3-5. Now, Morgan is a 5 against righties. And you check again the hit and run chart here for K rate, and it's still a +3. So a 1-2 would be a steal attempt. A 3-5 could be a hit and run. It's a 12, so there's not going to be a play. Captain Carl 8 joins us here at Riverfront Stadium. If pitcher has 1-20 for home run, do you use the D20 for the pitcher since automatic or re-roll? I re-roll. I absolutely re-roll. And you did ask that question in one of your games. And yes, I automatically re-roll. That is the rolls. The rolls for the I automatically re-roll. Okay, and I think it's the right thing to do. Okay, even if it's an automatic 1-20, because you really don't know if it's automatic until you actually look at the card. So I do re-roll. So Jim Hunter, let's see what he has here. That's a 3-5, and that is an @ sign. That means this is at the park. So that means the next roll is going to come off of Riverfront Stadium. So you re-roll it, and now you refer to the Riverfront Stadium card. That is a 2-3, and that is a G2. That is grounded at the plate. Now, I'm actually happy that came up. Grounders at the plate have been very confusing for me and for a lot of people that wonder, well, if it's a ground ball at the plate, and even if it's a double play depth, does the catcher actually get a chance to throw to second and then throw to first for a chance at a double play? According to Chris, he said he's never seen that before, and he looked through the stats. He's never seen a catcher throw to second, okay, and then a throw goes to first to try to complete a double play. I've never seen a catcher do that. And, of course, if it's a grounder at the plate, the catcher, of course, has to get the ball and then make a play. I really think there is no way a catcher is going to throw a runner out at second base unless it's a rare play. Therefore, I went ahead and double-checked with him, and there's a not official rule. Sometimes you do have to homebrew a few. And, of course, in every baseball game mentioned, you're always homebrewing. You always think there's something you could do to make it a bit more realistic. So that is a G2. Now, normally, you would roll a double play chance. The catcher would throw to second and throw to first. But on a G2, I don't see that happening. Therefore, I went ahead and created a thing here. G2 results with less than 2 outs. If there's a runner on first, batter out at first, runner advances to second. I really don't think the catcher would be trying to throw to second base to try to complete a 2-4-3 double play. So the catcher will automatically throw to first to get the run, to get the batter, and Rose advances to second, and that is 2 outs. I did send some of these rules to Chris to see if I can get some confirmation on it. But normally, I really think the catcher would pick up and he would throw to first with a runner on first to go to second. I really do not believe he would go ahead. He would go ahead and try to turn a 2-4-3 double play. Now, if you did try a 2-4-3 double play, just for the sake of it, the ground ball double play rating is a 1. Okay, Hunter is a 0. The double play rating usually gives a +1, but since it was hit to the catcher, okay, and you check here, ground ball double play is a -2 to the catcher here. Okay, so you have no chance for a double play. The run would go to the throw would go to first. Pete Rose would go to second. Okay, he would not try to throw him out at second base. So there are 2 outs. That's how you work at it hard and fast if you don't want to use the G2 rolls at grounders at the plate. And it gets a little bit more interesting when you have more than one runner. But I believe that he would take the sure out at first. Would you default to catcher touching the plate for the force? Yes, I would. That is that is a rule there for bases loaded. There's still a ground ball double play chance. If double play, catcher tags plate and throws the first double play. If no double play, force out at the plate, batter reaches first. The only way he does not get the force out if it's a 6 to roll. If die rolls a 6, all runners advance, batter out, which means the ball was hit the ball was hit too far to the plate for the catcher to actually tag the plate. He has no way of getting the runner at home. He has to throw to first to get the sure out. That's how I would do it there, Dave. That's how I believe that would be done. So 2 outs. So now we go to, so that is a grounder at the plate. So Rose does move to second. And that will bring up the left fielder, George Foster. He had a .306 average, 29 homers, and 121 RBIs in 1976. So now a runner at second base, and now the infield, of course, is back since that. We still roll a strategy roll. Now, in order for Pete Rose to try to steal third, it's the attempt rating divided by 2. So his attempt rating is a 1, and Jim Hunter is a +1, so it'd be a 2. Divided by 2, and you round down, it would be a 1. So the only way Pete Rose would get a chance to get to third would be on a 1. And that is a 14. It's not happening. I also do not hit and run with runners at second, with runners on second. So now Jim Hunter will go ahead and try to is on a sacrifice bunt. Captain Carl, I'll be honest with you, unless the ball was hit too hard, I think the catcher and the base runner on first is a little bit slow. That's probably the only reason why he would throw to second base. But remember, the catcher has a -2 in a grounder to double play. And some people forget that, Mark, which I actually do as well. That if it's a grounder to plate, and you look at the chart here, okay, it's a -2 double play chance for the catcher. So you're always going to subtract that. Usually the catcher will take the sure out at first. But no, you're correct, Captain Carl. That is very possible. He can throw the runner out at second, but usually I think the catcher will take the sure out at first and not allow there. So let's see what Hunter does. Hunter is a 1-3. Now we have an EG question mark. This is an error on a grounder, a possible error on a ground ball hit to the outfield or in the infield. So now we go to Foster's card. And that is a 2-2, and that is a double star 2. So now we go to Jim Hunter's card, and that's going to be an F8, which is going to be a fly out to center. And obviously there will be no error there on a fly out. So Foster flies out to center. Rivers will make the catch, and that will retire the side. So both teams get no runs and a hit, and after 1, there is no score. Mr. Moley, back in the day, one of your demo games broke the mystery of this game for me. I've now played over 500 of them, thanks to it. Well, thank you very much. Remember, guys, is this the best game you could play? Or the most accurate game you could play? Probably not. But to me, it's the most exciting game. Some people say you like to roll one dice and that's it, and you get to play. Here, you actually have to have the batter and the pitcher. The batter and the pitcher. And the ones and payoff pitch does that very well as well. Joe Bryant's payoff pitch starts with the pitcher card and then goes to the batter card. Other games don't even use the pitcher card or the batter card, and some, well, pitching is abstracted. We won't name those. We won't name those other games, by the way. Let's go to the top of the second. Zachry gets back on the mound. Leading off for the Yankees is going to be Lou Piniella. I put him in left field for this game because he has the same range as right, but no error there. 281 average, 3 homers, 38 RBIs. So now top of the second, no score. And Zachry a 3-4, and now it's a K. That is a strikeout chance. Riverfront Stadium adds 1 against righties. Piniella is a 14 plus 1 is a 15. That is a 19. He did not strike him out. So now we roll on Pinella's card. 5-6, and he's going to get a base hit. That's going to be an S9, and that's going to be a single to right. So far we've had hits in every leadoff batter so far. So the infield will move to double play depth, and Lou Piniella goes on first. Next up for the Yankees will be the third baseman, Greg Nettles. He batted .254, 32 home runs, and 93 RBIs back in 1976. And now, once again, we roll the strategy roll. Piniella, though, has an H here, which means the only way he cannot steal, but he can be involved in a hit and run. His stolen base rating is a 0. So I really don't think you'd have him do anything. And since there was an H there, that kind of tells me that Lou Piniella was involved in a couple of hit and runs or something. So we roll the strat, and that is a 6. And there's not going to be anything, so because Pat Zachry's a -1 here. So no play. So Zachry will go ahead and pitch. Modest King joins us here at Riverfront Stadium for some inside pitch demo. Zachry a 3-4. That again comes up a K, a strikeout. Against righties, Nettles is a 13. Plus 1 is a 14. That is a 3. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that's going to be strikeout number 2 for Zachry. He had 143 of them and in 76 and 79 walks. And the next batter will be the shortstop, Fred Stanley. He had a .238 average, 1 homer, and 20 RBIs in 1976. So we still roll the strategy roll because Zachry, of course, has balk and pickoff ratings anyway. And that's a 2, and that's not going to do anything. Although the hit and run, though, could still come up. That was a 2. So let me show it. So Stanley against righties is a 9. Okay. Now his attempt rating is an H. That is a 9. If you go to his hit and run chart, that is a +2 for a chance at a hit and run. But because Zachry's a -1, the only way he could have gotten a hit and run would have been on a 1. So there's not going to be a hit and run try here. So again, Zachry will pitch, and that's a 3-3. That is a home run ? Okay. Against the righty, Zachry is a 1-7. That is a 1. He put it right in Stanley's wheelhouse. Against the righty, Stanley needs a 4 in order to send this ball to Mars. And that is a 3. He actually did it. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is gone. Home run, Fred Stanley. He only had 1 homer in 76, but he will get it here. That's a 2-run bomb for Stanley. Stadium groans. So Fred Stanley comes up and gets a home run off of Zachry. And the Yankees will take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the second. Oh, Zachry uncorked the bat. He pitched him a meatball, and Fred Stanley turned it into lasagna, and that is gone. So that clears the bases, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Willie Randolph. Batted .267, a home run, and 40 RBIs in 76. So a 2-0 lead for the Yankees here in the top of the second as Stanley got a hold of one. Now, to get you clear, these are the starter and relief areas here for a pitcher. The first number is how many batters he can face before fatigue, and the second is a pull rating. This is optional, which I sometimes use. Okay, Zachry can face 27 batters before he fatigues, gets tired. Where the parentheses could mean he could be changed. And if he came in relief, which he did a number of times in 76, he can pitch to 9 batters in relief before he fatigues. And if he gives up 4 hits, walks, or anything like that, or runs, it counts to it. So Zachary's going to pitch here to Randolph. Zachry, a 3-4, and again, strikeout chance. Randolph against righties was a 7, plus 1 is an 8. That is a 9. He didn't get him. Randolph will swing a 5-5, and that is a base hit. That's a slaps one. That's an S6. He slaps that past short. And Randolph will get a base hit and wind up on first. So once again, the infield's a double play. Now, Jim, the pit, we are at the National League ballpark. So, and this is 1976, the pitchers will bat. Because of he does not, Chris Davis does not have hitting cards for pitchers, okay, for the American League teams for the DH era because they never hit. So I had to create some pitcher hitting cards, which I decided to do utilizing a template that I found in the PC version of Inside Pitch. And I'm going to use for him generic pitcher hitting card number 7. This hitting card is designed for pitchers that hit around 194. Catfish Hunter was actually a pretty good hitter. He had a 225 lifetime batting average. But because he didn't do any at-bats in 1976, I bring that down 1 level. So I had a pitcher hitting card for 222 average, but because he never swung a bat at all in 70, actually did swing a bat in the World Series in 76, but he didn't swing during the regular season, I decided to bring it down 1 level. So this is a hitter-pitcher hitting card specifically designed, okay, for pitchers that had like a 194 average. Hunter can hit the home run. He did hit home runs as a hitter, so I go ahead and utilize this area. And he will have a home run rating of 4, which does allow him to hit a home run if it comes up. So I'm going to use generic pitcher hitting card number 7 for this. These are my own creations. This is not from Chris. I have uploaded the files to certain people that wanted these. I got this virtue, somebody who did it, and I just created my own. So let's go to Randolph here. So Randolph has a temp rating of 6, minus 1 is a 5. We still got to roll a strategy roll. Double plays are checked. Now for pitchers, I usually automatically consider a bunt. Okay, in this case, although Hunter can hit. Strategy roll comes up a 5. So actually Randolph gets the steal attempt. 6 minus 1 is 5. Why not? Let's steal. Stolen base rating is a 15. Zachry is a minus 3, which makes him a 12. The catcher, of course, is, well, Johnny Bench. He has a minus 1 arm, so that's going to make him an 11. So I'm going to send Randolph. Why not? It's exhibition. So Randolph on his way to second. A 1 to 11, he will be safe. And he is. Randolph will get under the tag, and he'll slide into second with a stolen base. So now the double play is off. Could you add those to the Facebook Inside Pitch? I really should. I was actually hoping that Chris would automatic, because I sent them to Chris for approval to see if he wanted to make any changes to them. He's never gotten back to me. So I can go ahead and I can upload these files probably to the pit. It's an Excel file, but I use LibreOffice to open it up. So, and you guys can make changes to the cards. I mean, just because I make them and these are homebrew doesn't mean you can't make changes to them. Please, if you think maybe you want to add more cards or anything like that, or make changes to the grid, please go right ahead and do it. Make it your own way. Just because I think it's realistic doesn't mean you think it is. We re-roll the strat again since Randolph stole the base. That is an 8, and this time he will stay put because his attempt rating is a 6. Minus 1 is a 5. A chance for him to steal third would have been a 2.5, rounded down to 2. So now he will stay put. So Zachry will roll, and that is a 1-2. And that is a strikeout chance. The generic pitcher hitting cards, their strikeout ratings are usually always high. That is a 19, plus 1 is a 20. That's a 2, and he struck him out. And that's pretty much realistic to me that a pitcher really wouldn't have that, but he can hit it. So that is his strikeout. He strikes out the pitcher, and they're now 2 away. And that is strikeout number 3 for Zachry. With 2 outs now, here comes Rivers. He's 1 for 1 with a single. So we re-roll the strategy roll again. And that is a 1. This time Randolph does get the chance to steal third, but I'm going to hold him at second base as Rivers is a very good hitter, and you don't want to run yourself out of the inning. That is why the strategy roll to me tells me that the play is available, but you don't have to do it if you don't want. Some people will go ahead and roll the strategy roll hard and fast. So if you're down by 4 runs and you have a runner at first and a bunt comes up, are you really going to bunt? No. It just shows you that the strategy I also kind of think another thing about the strategy roll, it kind of tells you that the defense has made some changes in defensive alignment, like a shift or in or out. And the strategy roll tells you, hey, look, there's a defensive chance here. You may be able to make a hit and run or steal a base, something like that. Zachry will go ahead and pitch, and that's a 5-2. And now it comes up as an E question mark. So now it's a possible error. So now we go to Rivers' card. And that is a 2-5. That is a G6. So it's a ground ball to short, but it's a possible error. The shortstop is Dave Concepcion, and his error rating is a 9. That is a 16. It is high. It has to be less than or equal to the error rating, and that is a 9, and that is a 16. He will not make an error. So Concepcion will make the grounder, and he will throw to first to get the out and retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits, a 2-run bomb by Fred Stanley, of all players. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. You must be the only one in Northern England walking home from the pub listening to RJL rolling inside pitch. Yeah, and if you are, you might want to see something. You might want to see a therapist about that. We go to the bottom of the second. So Jim Hunter back on the mound. And next, leading off for the Reds is going to be that guy, the catcher, Mr. Johnny Bench. Is he the greatest catcher in history? The greatest overall catcher in history? I know there's Yogi Berra. I know there's Carlton Fisk. I know there's Mike Piazza, who was the best hitting catcher in baseball history. Mike Piazza has that title. He is the best hitting catcher in baseball history. But was Johnny Bench the best overall catcher? It's kind of hard to argue against that. As much as, I love Piazza or Pudge, Ivan, or both Pudges, Carlton or Rodriguez, I just think Johnny Bench is the best overall catcher in history. He had great range. He had a great arm. I just think he probably was. So Hunter will go ahead and roll. We start at the bottom of the second. And that's a 1-2. That is a blank. So now we go to Johnny Bench's card. Johnny Bench is a 4-4, and that is a D8. So Johnny Bench does go ahead and listen to me here, and he smacks a double into center field. So the Reds are going to get the leadoff hitter at second on a double by Johnny Bench. Just like Harold Baines is the best DH ever. Somebody give Baseball Demos the Block Dragon, please. We don't mention that Harold guy who should not be in the Hall of Fame. So Bench is on at second. Okay, and now we'll get the next batter for the Reds will be first baseman Tony Perez. He batted .260, 19 homers and 91 RBIs in 76. So we have a runner at second. The infield will normally be back. And Johnny Bench has a steal attempt rating of 2. Plus 1 makes him a 3. Divided by 2 would be a 1.5, but you always round down. I don't see Johnny Bench trying to steal third. And he says, no, I'm happy where I am. Go ahead and pitch. So Hunter will go ahead and pitch. So Catfish, a 1-5. Now we got an RP. That is a range play. So now the range play factor of the fielders will come into play. We then go to Tony Perez. And that is a 4-3. And that is an S6. Now that is a single pass short, but it is a range play. The shortstop for Fred Stanley's range is a 3. The infield is back because they're not in double play depth. So Fred Stanley's range is a 3. So if he goes ahead and makes the range play, he turns that S6 into a G6. So a 1-3, he makes the play. That is a 3. So Stanley goes ahead and gets it, and the throw will go to first for the out. That is 1 out. Now, Johnny Bench has a base running rating of 3, and you check the chart here. For runner on second, runner advances on balls hit the first, second, or catcher. Runner holds on balls at the shortstop or pitcher if roll is higher than base runner of batter. So in order for Bench to try to take third on a grounder to short, a 3 or lower has to be rolled. It's a 5. He stayed at second base. So 1 out. As a nice play was made by Fred Stanley, who right now is the player of the game, and he throws to first for the out, and there is 1 down. That'll bring up center fielder Cesar Geronimo, 307 average, 2 homers and 49 RBIs in 76. The infield is still back, but we still roll a strategy roll because Catfish still has pickoff ratings chances. That is a 2, and again, Johnny Bench has to stay put. But I wouldn't send him. I really don't think I'd send him anyway. Geronimo was a very good hitter in 76. Catfish, 6'4". That is a split chance. Against the lefty, it's a walk plus. Against the righty, it's a blank. Geronimo is a lefty, and a walk plus is a walk rating plus 10. So against righties, Geronimo is a 10. Plus 1 is 11, but he gets plus 10 from Hunter, which makes him a 21. That's an automatic walk, and he walks Geronimo, and the Reds are in business. First walk issued by Hunter. So now runners at first and second, but now infield is double play depth. And now here comes the shortstop, Dave Concepcion. I sometimes think he does belong in the Hall of Fame because Concepcion was had such longevity in the game. But then I look at his overall, Concepcion definitely belongs in the Hall of the Very Good. I have no problem putting him there. Concepcion Hall of Very Good? Absolutely. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think he just falls a little bit short. We re-roll the strat. And that is a 3. And again, nothing happening here. And I don't do hit and runs with runners on second. You can do one if you want, but I don't see many hit and runs with runners on second base. So Hunter will go ahead here and try to roll. Catfish, a 4-2 and a split chance here. Against the righty, a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, it's a blank. Concepcion is a righty, so a strikeout chance. Against the righty, Concepcion is a 7, plus 1 is an 8. That's a 19. He did not get him. Concepcion rolls 1-2, and that is a double star 4, or as Baseball, the demo says, star line 4, automatic out. And we go to Jim Hunter's card, and that is a 4, and it's a G5. This is a ground out to third. Now, with runners at first and second, ground out to third are handled a little differently. With runners on first and second to first double play, trying all grounders except the third base. Grounder to third base, roll another 1d6. Will tell you what kind of double play chance you're going to have with runners less than 1 out. That is a 2. So that is hit towards the line. If double play or force, it would go 5-3. So that means that it would be a double play chance. It would be a 5-3 double play. Okay, so it was hit towards the line. Now we check the double play rating. Dave Concepcion is a 2. Hunter adds 0. And you're at double play rating here, which adds 1, which is a 3. So a 1-3, it would be a 5-3 double play. A 4 or a 5, bench is out, and the runners advance. A 6, runners advance. That is a 1, so it's going to be hit right to third. And a great play by Nettles, tags the bag to get bench, throws to first to get Concepcion, and the side is retired. So no runs, a hit, and a walk as Concepcion grounds out into the 5-3 double play. And the inning is over, still 2-0 Yankees after 2. I actually sometimes think why it's not a 5-4 double play because I think the player at third would have a better chance of throwing the runner out at second, but I guess the runner at second is probably already moving, so I figure maybe the 5-3 double play actually makes more sense than a 5-4 double play, throwing to second to get the two outs. I don't know. I'm still figuring why he said 5-3 and why not 5-4. Where you throw to third and then you throw to second to get the double play. But then again, maybe you have to check the base running rating of the runner at first base. I don't know. I'm still working on that as well, but I'll go by the rules as written. We go to top of the third as the Yankees hold a 2-0 lead here. Zachry back on the mound. And Roy White will lead it off for the Bronx Bombers. He's 0 for 1. So once again here, so the Yankees holding a 2-0 lead. We're only in the third inning. We're already an hour in the stream, but I know demo games usually take a while to do. Zachry, 4-3, and that is a K, which is a strikeout chance. Against a righty, White is a 7, +1 for the ballpark makes him an 8. That is a 14. It is too high. White will get the swing, 1-5, and White gets a base hit to left field. That is a single. So he gets a hit to left. And so far, the leadoff runner in every inning for each team has made it on base. He is the 5th straight leadoff batter to get on. So Roy White gets to first, and once again, we'll switch to double play. Here it comes Thurman Nuclear Warfare. Munson is 0 for 1. Roy White has a attempt rating of 4. -1 from Zachry makes him a 3. Munson has a 4, did not strike out much, so it's a +4 to hit and run. So a 1-3 would be a steal chance. A 4-7 would be a hit and run chance. And that is a 12. There will be no play. So Zachry will go ahead and pitch. And that is a 5-1 strikeout chance against a righty. Munson is a 4, +1 is a 5. That is a 10. He does not strike out. Munson, 6-3, and that is a ground ball to third. That is a G5, so a possible double play. So we'll check and see if he does it. Munson is a double play rating of 2. -1 is a 1. You add to the infield depth to a 2. A 1 or a 2, it's a double play. A 3, Roy White will be safe at second because he's pretty fast there. And when he's being held on, you reduce the base runner rating by 1, which becomes a 3. A 4-5, it'll be a fielder's choice. A 6, everyone moves up. And that is a 4. So Roy White is thrown out at second, and Munson makes it to first on the fielder's choice, and that is 1 out. Next batter is Chambliss. Chambliss is 0 for 1. And once again, we re-roll the strategy. Munson was your childhood hero. No pivots. Nope. Oh, yeah, that's with the pivot second. Damn it. You're right. Forgot the pivot. The pivot rating was, let's see. Pivot rating, second base was Randolph. He had a +1 pivot rating. So, yeah, he would have been out, wouldn't it? That would have been a 3, would have been a 4, and that was a 4. So, yes, that is a pivot rating. My bad, Rick. Thank you. I forgot about the pivot rating. That is a double play. That is a double play, and there are 2 outs. My bad. Let's redo that. Let's redo it. Let's redo it. Let's redo it. Let's redo the play. Let's redo the at-bat because I did not do that right. So we know it was a ground ball to third. The third baseman was Rose. Rose throws to second. Second base is Morgan, and he has a 0 pivot. Okay, so it's still a 3. So it still works as a fielder's choice. So Munson still safe at first, but his pivot rating is a 0 for George Morgan. So I was right. I just didn't do it completely there. So now Chambliss will bat, and Chambliss is 0 for 1. But now there is 1 out. We'll re-roll the strategy again. Munson is a 3 attempt rating. -1 makes him a 2. Chambliss a 9, so it's a +2 to hit and run. So 1-2 steal attempt, 3-4 hit and run. No play. So Zachry will go ahead and pitch. Zachry 1-1. That is a blank. So we go to Chambliss's card. 6-3, and that is a P3. That's a pop fly ball to first, and that's going to be a pop out. It doesn't say whether it's caught in fair or foul territory. It doesn't matter. Usually, I just look at the dice. If it's odd, it's in foul territory. If it's even number, it's in fair territory, and that's going to be caught by Perez in foul territory. And of course, the runners don't go anywhere, so that's out number 2 as he pop outs to first. So 2 away. Here comes Piniella. Piniella got a base hit his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Infield is now back. Strategy roll again. That's a 14. Nothing happening. Munson is not going anywhere. No hit and run for Piniella. Zachry will pitch. Zachry 4-6, and that is a K, a strikeout chance against a righty. Piniella is a 14, plus 1 is a 15. That is a 1, and that is as bad a strikeout as you can get, as Piniella swung high, and the ball probably wound up in the dirt and made the catch and made the play, and that will end the inning. That is strikeout number 4 for Zachry. So struck him out, and that will retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the third, no runs and a hit. Bottom of the third inning, Yankees lead 2-0. Leading off for the Reds will be the pitcher, Pat Zachry. He has his own hitting card, a 113 average and 2 RBIs. So Zachry will go ahead and he will lead off, and Catfish has a 2-0 lead to work with. 1-4. That is a home run question mark, which means a home run chance. But you can look at Zachary's card at zeros, so you don't even have to check here at all. You can just automatically know it's going to be a blank. Zachry will swing a 5-1, and that is a K. If a K comes up in the grid on the batter's grid, that is a strikeout. He is out. And that's the first strikeout for Catfish, as he finally gets his first K here in the bottom of the third. 1 out. And that will bring up Mr. Peter Rose. Rose got a base hit his first time up. So Hunter will go ahead and pitch, and that is a 1-3. EG question mark error on a grounder. We then go to Rose. Rose is a 3-2, and that is a ground ball. It's a ground ball to second base, and that ball is hit to Willie Randolph. Willie Randolph's error rating is a 7. That's a 16. He will not make an error. Randolph's got it, and he throws to first for out number 2. That's another thing about inside pitch. Checking range plays and checking errors very quick. Unlike other games where you have to check a chart to see if an error is made. We won't mention the game, of course. 2 down. Two down on a ground out to second. And that'll bring up Griffey. Griffey is 0 for 1. That's the thing about it. You do need to check a chart, to see if you want, how the errors work on the other side of the chart. Everyone says, it comes with so many charts. This is the only chart that inside pitch comes with. Any questions? Okay, so bottom of the third. So Griffey now the batter. So Hunter goes ahead and does it. 4-2. 4-2 is a split chance. Against a lefty, it's a blank. Against a righty, it's a strikeout chance. Griffey's a lefty, so that will be a blank. We roll on Griffey's card. 1-4. 1-4 comes up a double star 4, which is going to be an out. It's going to be an automatic out. We go to Jim Hunter's card, and it's a 4, and that's a G5, and that's going to be a ground out to third, handled by Nettles. They'll throw to first for the out, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Catfish. The one thing about the pitcher cards, the star line kind of tells you what kind of a pitcher this he was. Hunter has 5 fly balls on his star line and 1 grounder. He was a fly ball pitcher. He gave up more flies, obviously, gave up more fly outs than he did ground outs. So he was more of a fly ball pitcher than he was a ground out pitcher. That's the one thing these can tell you. And you look at Pat Zachary's card, he has 3 grounders and 3 flyouts. He was neutral. Let's go to the top of the fourth in this demo game. So far, we haven't had to use any hits to the outfield. It's been a pitcher's duel so far for the first 3 innings. Mr. Nettles will lead off. Greg Nettles, he struck out his first time up. Yankees have a 2-0 lead here at the stadium in front of the river. Zachry, 2-3, and that's an ET question mark. This is an error on a throw. This is an error on a throw, which means a possible throwing error may occur. We again go to Nettles' card, and that is a 5-5, and that is an F8, which is a fly out to center field, so obviously there will not be a throwing error, as that will be Geronimo making the catch for out number 1. Next batter is Stanley, who got the home run his first time up. He gets a few boos here from the Riverfront Stadium crowd, as Ron McGrath joins us here for some demo inside pitch for 1976. There will be a 1985 demo as well. That will be next Sunday at noon on June 4th. I will do a 1985 demo featuring the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. Of course, this 76 demo will be placed into my 76 playlist for those who want to relive or want to know more about the 76, how my 76 replay went, which I thought all my seasons were fun. Zachry will pitch, and that is a 6-3. Now, this is an S1 in parentheses. If he was tired, this would be a base hit up the middle. Since he is not tired, this goes as a blank. So we then go to Stanley's card. Stanley is a 3-1, and that is a G5, and he will just ground out to third. As the ball is handled by Peter Rose. And now the batter is Randolph. Does Randolph belong in the Hall of Fame? He had a very long and storied career. Hall of the Very Good? Absolutely. You know what? If they were to actually put Randolph in the Hall, I would probably put it on credit card. I would probably put it on credit card if they put Randolph in the Hall. Had a very long and storied career, and he was not a terrible manager either. You know, he was not a terrible manager either. So, I don't know. Hall of Longevity, that's for sure. I don't know. If you want to put him in the Hall of Fame, I'd probably put it on credit card. Zachry will go ahead and pitch. And that is a 4-2. And that comes the @ sign. So that is at the park. We'll then go to Riverfront Stadium. 4-3. And that is an S+ with an 8. That is a single plus to center field, which means that the batter gets a single, but he has to try for 2. So now we have something interesting here. So Randolph is rounding first, and now he's got to try for second. His base running rating is a 3. It was hit to center field. The center fielder for the Reds is Geronimo, and his arm rating is a 0. Now you check the chart for S+ results. Roll then less than or equal to adjusted base runner, then batter safe with a double. Roll higher than ABR, then batter holds with a single. Roll of 6, batter potentially thrown out at second. So a 1-3, Randolph is safe. A 4-5, he stays at second base. He stays at first. A 6, he is good, possibly out. That is a 5. Randolph puts on the brakes as Geronimo gets the ball in very quickly. And Randolph will stay at first. So that is a single. That is his second hit of the game for Randolph. And I'm going to let Hunter. Hunter's pitching a gem right now. He hasn't given up anything right now. Normally, I'm an exhibition game. I could bring in some pinch hitters, but I'm going to let Hunter bat again, even though it's a runner on first. Remember, this is exhibition. This is not. This is an exhibition game. So I'm going to let Hunter bat again. So we'll use pitcher hitting card number 7 with a 194 average. So we still roll a strategy roll anyway. And that is a 3. Randolph, a 6 minus 1 is 5. He gets the steal sign. I'm going to send him. 15 minus 3 is 12. And bench minus 1 is 11. So I'm going to send him with 2 outs because to get him into scoring position. A 1-11, Randolph is safe. And he is. He just got under the tag. Bench can't get Randolph. Where is that evil D? Where was the evil D20 during those games in the replay? Wow. Of course, if he had a 95% chance to steal, I would have rolled a 20. Second stolen base of the game for Randolph as they're utilizing him. Now he's at second base. We'll re-roll the strat again since the positions have changed. That is a 16. This time, nothing happening. So Randolph on at second. So maybe if Hunter can get a base hit, he could bring him in. Zachry, a 3-2, and that is a range play. Now, range plays are very good for batters that don't hit very well because you can always get that hit. So that is a range play. We then go to the pitcher hitting card. Hunter, a 3-6, and that is a K. That's going to be a strikeout. And no, I don't, on a range play on a K, I don't see if the catcher dropped the ball or something like that and throws to first. No, that's a strikeout. That is how we intended to do it. That is strikeout number 5 for Zachry, and the inning will be over. No runs, a hit, and a stolen base. It remains 2-0. You don't roll a range to see if the catcher comes up with the ball or something like that. I guess you could if you want. If you want to make a home-brewed roll like that on a strikeout, I guess you could. I don't know. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning now. Joe Morgan will lead off. He's 0 for 1. So the Yankees lead 2-0 here after going to the bottom of the 4th. 6-3. Jim Hunter comes up with a K strikeout chance. Against righties, Morgan is a 5. +1 is a 6. That is a 15. It is high. Morgan swings a 3-5, and that is a double star 3. That's going to be an out. And that's going to be a fly ball. Check Hunter's number 3 card, and that's going to be a fly out to right. So for the first time in this ball game, the leadoff batter does not get on base. Actually, that's the second time in the ball game because Nettles didn't get on there. 1 out. Here comes the $10 million bum, George Foster, as the Mets would say. Hunter will go ahead. You're very welcome there, Mr. Hunt. Very welcome. Not everything may come up. Okay, for this, in this demo game. Hunter with the pitch, a 4-1. Now that is a WLD, which means wild pitch, but there's nobody on base, so that would just be a bad pitch behind the catcher, wherever. It's ball 1. There is no hard and fast rules if you throw 4 wild pitches in a row, but my rule is if somehow you throw 4 wilds in a row, to me that's a walk. We re-roll on Hunter's card, 5-1, and now we have a split chance. A home run a home run result against a lefty, a strikeout against a righty. Since Foster is a righty, that's a strikeout chance. Against a right-handed pitcher, Foster is a 10. +1 makes him 11. That's a 2, and that is a strikeout. If Foster was a lefty, Foster has 20s, that would have been a home run. Instead, Foster swings and misses at strike 3, and that is the second strikeout for Hunter. A big difference between a strikeout and a home run. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of people say there's always so many, the split ratings. I know the caveat is there's a lot of cookie cutter cards, for inside pitch. I get that. But pretty much every pitcher is split. Okay, maybe not every batter, but every pitcher pretty much has a split. I think every pitcher pretty much has a split rating somewhere on the card. I'm not sure, but it's rare. So splits happen on every pitch, pretty much. 1 out. Here's bench. Hunter will pitch 5-2. That is an RP at sign. That is a range play, but that is at the ballpark. So now we go to Riverfront. Riverfront 1-4, and that is an S4. That is a single to pass the second baseman, but it's a range play. So the range play goes to Randolph. Randolph is excellent. His range is a 5. His range is a 5, so a 1-5, that single becomes an out. And it is a 5. He makes a nice diving stop there. Randolph gets up with it, throws to first to get benched, and that is out number 2. So that turned a single into an out. Actually, that's out number 3. The side is retired. My bad, because Foster struck out, Morgan flew out, and Bench just grounded out. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Catfish. Still 2-0 Yankees after 4. Kevin Hayes joins us here for a little demo action. I hope this is quenching your thirst. Another thing about Beatles Eternally, kind of like got on my case a little bit. Says Robert, you need to stream something. You haven't streamed anything in 3 weeks. So I figured, since I did not do demo games for the 76 and 85 replays, I figure I'd go ahead and throw a demo game for 1976 today, and a demo game for 1985 on Sunday, June 4th. Still scheduled a demo game for June 25th, the 2016 season upcoming. Demo game June 25th will be the Cleveland Indians against the Chicago Cubs. And, of course, opening day, July 3rd, 2016, the New York Mets against the Kansas City Royals to open up the 2016 season. So we go to the top of the 5th here. So Zachry will stay on the mound. Top of the lineup for the Bronx Bombers, here's Mickey Rivers, and he's 1 for 2 with a single. So Zachry will go ahead and pitch. 3-2. Off of his card, again, an RP. That is a range play. We go to Rivers' card now. 2-5, and that is a G6. So that's a ground ball to short, and it's hit to Concepcion. Concepcion at short, just as good as Randolph. His range is a 5. So a 1-5, he will make this play. A 6, it's going to be a base hit. It's a 4. Concepcion has no problem with it. He'll throw to first and get the out. And that's a ground out to short, 1 down. Thank you very much, Mr. Hunt. Like I said, range play checks, error checks here, an inside pitch. Just roll a die and it's right on the card for you. Unlike other games where you have to check the chart to see if an error was made. We won't mention that game. We won't mention those games, though. Here's White. White is 1 for 2. Zachry will go ahead and pitch. And Zachry is a 4-3. And that comes up a K. Strikeout chance against a righty. White is a 7. +1 from the ballpark makes him an 8. That is a 7. I call that a called strike 3. White didn't swing the bat. And that's going to be strikeout number 6 for Zachry. So even though he gave up the home run, he is dealing some heat today. 2 down. Here comes Munson. I sometimes think Munson should be put in the Hall of Fame anyway, due to, anyway, posthumously, but I know a lot of people may disagree with that. But can all of us agree that Munson was walking a Hall of Fame path? I pretty much say we can. Zachry will go ahead and pitch to Munson. Zachry a 3-4, and again, strikeout chance against a righty. Munson is a 4, +1 is a 5. That is a 6. He just missed it. So Munson gets the swing. 5-3, and that is an F7. That is a fly ball to left. And getting under that is going to be Foster. And he will make the catch. And for the first time in the ball game, Zachry sends the Yankees down in order 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 5th here, with the Yankees holding a 2-0 lead here in this demo game. Remember, if you have any questions, please ask in the chat. This is a demonstration game. This is where I can take questions, because when I do replays, I move very fast, okay? I try to get some of the ratings in there for you during the actual replay, but I want to move quickly during the replays. That's why I can read the card very fast and immediately go right to the game instead of always pointing it. The one thing I love about Dave at Baseball Demos, he always points to the card on every game he does. That's the one thing I like about him. So in a way, baseball is actually demoing the game, even though it's not listed as a demo replay what he's doing. That's why Dave is so good at what he does. He literally shows you why the game does that, okay, throughout his replays, whether it's History Maker, Inside Pitch, Replay Baseball, Stratomatic. He does it that way. Me, I just do a straight season replay, to get the season going. And, of course, utilizing FastScore or any other background system that we like to use. Kemi Poo joins us here at Riverfront Stadium. Yes, I did make it back from New York. I had a wonderful time, Cammy Poo. I went to a great baseball stadium called Citi Field. Wonderful. The weather up there, the weather up there 2 weeks ago was perfect. I could not have asked for better weather in New York. Bottom of the fifth, and we have Tony Perez leading off for the Reds here. Perez is 0 for 1. So Hunter will go ahead and pitch. Hunter is a 3-6. That against a split chance. Against a righty, it's an automatic out. Against a lefty, it's a blank. Perez is a righty. That will be an out. So now you check the star line, and that is a 2, and that's going to be a fly out to center. As Mick the Quick will go ahead and make the play. Here is Geronimo. Geronimo walked his first time up, so he's actually 0 for 0. Hunter will pitch. Hunter is a 3-3. That again is an at sign. That is at the park. We go to Riverfront Stadium. Riverfront Stadium is a 5-5, and that is a double star 2. So that's going to be an automatic out. Checking Hunter. There's 2 is at star line 2, which is an F8. That's a fly out to center as well. And there are 2 down. 2 outs. Here comes Concepcion, and he is 0 for 1. Fans here at Riverfront hoping to see a little bit more here from the Reds, but right now, Catfish Hunter is the one that's doing the fishing. Hunter, 5-3, and that is a W. That is a walk chance. Against a righty, Concepcion is a 7. +1 makes him an 8. That's a 19. It's too high. Concepcion does not walk. He does get the swing. 5-3, and that is a P5. That's a pop fly ball to third base. And I'm going to say 5 + 3 is 8. I'm going to say that's in the field of play. That's a fly out behind third. And a pop fly to third. And Nettles will get to it. And he will retire the side. So a nice job here by Catfish Hunter. He's only scattered 2 hits after 5. Yankees lead 2-0 in this demo game for 1976. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Chris Chambliss leads off. Zachry, he can pitch to 6 more batters before he fatigues. And Catfish has got a long way to go. He can pitch to 34 batters before he fatigues. Remember, this is 70s baseball, not 2023, where if a pitcher makes 1 pitch, he's automatically tired. Zachry will go ahead and deal here to Chambliss. Chambliss is 0 for 2. 5-6, and that against a split chance. Against a righty, it's a strikeout plus, which means the strikeout rating +10. Against a lefty, it's a blank. Chambliss is a lefty, so that is a blank. Chambliss gets to roll a 6-5, and that is an L6. That's a line drive at right to short, but right there is Concepcion, and he will make the catch, 1 out. Next up is Piniella. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Zachry comes up here, and he will roll. Pat Zachry, a 4-1. That is a double question mark. He is not fatigued, so this will not take him out. But a double question mark, you go to this section of the pitcher, which I call a pitcher result. I call this a pitcher result, but it's really a double question mark, and you go to this part of the card. Against a righty, a 1-8 would be an automatic out. Against a lefty, a 1-14 would be an automatic out, hence the star line. Piniella is a righty. A 1-8 would be an automatic out. That is a 6. He got him. And Zachry will go ahead and get him out. Now you roll on the star line to see what it is. It is a 5, and that will be a fly out to left. So Zachry got Piniella guessing at something, and Piniella just hit a routine fly to left field. And that is 2 away. Next batter is Nettles. Nettles is 0 for 2. Zachry, a 1-3. Now that's an HBP. This is a hit by pitch. Okay? A hit by pitch. We check the batter card. And Nettles has a hit by pitch rating of 4. Then you check the pitcher card hit by pitch rating, and that's a -4. So even though it's a 4, but a -4 makes it a 0. So Zachry's, and then you'll check this number here, that's an 18. Well, we already know that 4 minus 4 is 0. Zachry does not hit Nettles, and that becomes a blank, and then you roll on Nettles' card, on the batter card. 1-1, and that is an F9, and that is a fly ball to right. And getting over there will be Griffey. He will make the catch and retire the side. So Zachry has pretty much settled down here since giving up the 2-run bomb to Stanley. And it is still 2-0 here going to the bottom of the 6th. Typical 70s baseball game, low scoring. So now we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Hunter back on the mound. Pat Zachry is the leadoff batter, but now I'm going to go. He can pitch to 3 more batters before he tires. But I think if you're the Reds, you're down 2-0. I think you need to do a pinch hitter. So we're going to go ahead and pinch hit for Zachry, as that will take Zachry out of the game. So we're going to take him out. So Zachry will leave the ball game, and the Reds will go to a pinch hitter. So we got a righty on the mound, and I have certain rules when it comes to pinch hitters. I usually like to use the player with the most at-bats that's on the bench for kind of realism, instead of bringing the guy that has the highest average available, which because if he had at least amount of at-bats, he probably really would not really be at bat there. For pinch hitters, I have a choice between Dan Dreesen and Mike Lum. Lum hit 228 against the righty of bringing a lefty. So Mike Lum batted 228 and Dreesen batted 247. Dreesen had 219 at-bats, Lum 136 at-bats. My rule is, before the 9th inning, I usually go by the player with the most at-bats. So in this case, I'm going to bring in Dan Dreesen to pinch hit. So Dan Dreesen will pinch hit against Hunter here to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees lead 2-0. In a normal game, I would probably let Zachry bat, since in the 70s he would probably still be hitting here. But in this exhibition game, we kind of break the mold a little bit. Hunter with the pitch. Hunter 6-4 against the righty. It's a split chance. Against the righty, it's a blank. Against the lefty, it's a walk plus. Dreesen is a lefty. Against the righty, Dreesen is a 17. Plus 1 is an 18. And that would become a 28 since it's a walk plus. That is a 4. And Hunter threw probably pitched 4 straight walk balls. And Dreesen will wind up on first with a leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Hunter. So Dreesen on it first. Infield will go to double play depth. And that'll bring up Mr. Rose. Rose is 1 for 2 with a single. Dreesen has an attempt rating of 4. Plus 1 is a 5. A 1 to 5 would be a steal attempt. Rose has a 6, which is a plus 3 to hit and run. So a 1 to 5 would be a steal attempt. A 6, 7, or 8 would be a hit and run attempt. Rose has a 1 bunt rating, so there's not going to be a bunt. And that is a 13, so there's no play on the strategy. So normal play. Infield is at double play depth. Hunter will pitch. Hunter is a 4-4. That is a walk chance against a righty. Rose is a 13. Plus 1 is a 14. That is a 16. He does not walk him. Rose a 2-1, and that is a G5. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Let's see if they turn the double play. Rose is a double play rating of 3, double play rating 0, and infield is a plus 1, which makes him a 4. The second base pivot rating for the Yankees is Randolph. Randolph has a plus 1 pivot, which makes that a 5. So a 1 to 5, Rose grounds out into the 5-4-3, a 6, runners advance. That is a 5, and he did it. So because of the good pivot rating by Randolph, throws to third, ground ball to third, throws to second for 1, around the horn to first, double play, 2 outs. So Rose grounds out into the 5-4-3, 2 down. And that's where the pivot rating, which I didn't show you the last time, this time I did show you that. And there are 2 outs. Pivot ratings, however, do change depending on who's at bat. Now I'll show you a little bit of the chart here. This is the chart, the pivot chart here. On ground balls to third and short, the second baseman is always the pivot rating. And as well, and the shortstop is always the pivot man when it's grounded out to second or third, second or first. Against the now, only with the ground ball against to the pitcher or grounded at the plate to the catcher, the pivot rating changes depending if it's a lefty or a righty. Although, as I said, I guess in a grounder to the catcher, I just don't see the catcher unless it's a bunt, like he said in the chat. I just don't see many catchers throwing to second, trying to turn a double play, because if you don't get them, okay, it's going to be runners at first and second. I still say the catcher would throw to first and just let the runner go to second base, and make it, unless it's a rare play. Here's Griffey. Griffey is 0 for 2. So Hunter will pitch. Hunter is a 4-4. And again, a walk chance against a righty. Griffey is a 12. Plus 1 is a 13. That's a 6. He did walk Griffey on that one. So Hunter gives up another walk in this inning. And that's the third walk. So the Reds are not done yet. And here comes Mr. Morgan, Hall of Famer. Absolutely. Morgan, he is 0 for 2, though. Catfish has really been doing a job on the Reds in this demo game. So we go ahead here and we still roll the strat, because the strategy roll takes effect unless the difference of the score is over the roll of over 10 when you add the inning. So right now it's 2 plus 6 is 8. So the strategy roll will still be used. That is a 1. Griffey actually gets the steal sign. 4 plus 1 is 5. 15 minus 1 is 14. Munson has a 0 arm here. So a 1 to 14, Griffey would try to take second base. I don't think you steal here because Morgan's a very good hitter. So I think you don't want to run yourself out of the inning. So I would say I would say no steal, and we'll go ahead and let pitcher throw. Hunter is a 2-4. That's a K. That's a strikeout chance. Against a righty, Morgan is a 5. Plus 1 is a 6. That's a 16. He does not strike out. Now Morgan gets the roll. And that's a 1-1, and that is an F9. That is a fly ball hit to right field. And Roy White's going to get there. He will make the catch and retire the side. Nothing across except a couple of walks. Catfish is pitching like the Hall of Famer he is, 2-0 after 6. In this demonstration game here for 1976. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Yankees still have a 2-0 lead. Fred Stanley, the unlikely hero in this game. Leading off for the Yankees is going to be Fred Stanley. He will bat. He is 1 for 2 with a bomb. Reds need a pitcher. And I look at it. I know you do not have to use the 3-batter rule, but because that's now official I kind of always use the 3-batter rule, even though I usually don't say it is. But I usually do use the 3-batter rule anyway in these games. So we got a right, and a pinch hitter probably coming in for Jim Hunter. So let's see. We're going to bring in a righty here for the Reds in relief. And it is going to be, I usually go by most appearances if possible. And it's a close game. Let's see. It's a 7th inning also. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Manny Sarmiento. 5 wins, 1 loss, no saves, a 2.06 ERA. So Manny Sarmiento will go ahead and pitch here for the Reds. Fred Stanley will lead off on the top of the 7th inning. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. These are demonstration games. These are the games I can answer your questions for Inside Pitch Baseball. Sarmiento will pitch, and that's a 6-4. 6-4 is a blank. We then go to Stanley's card. Stanley is a 4-5, and that is an F8, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. That'll be handled there by Geronimo, 1 down. Game is moving a little slower, a little faster now because I'm moving a little faster with the game. And of course, it's a pitcher's duel too. Here's Randolph. Randolph's having a good night. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles. Sarmiento can pitch to 8 batters before he tires. His pull rating is 3. Sarmiento, a 4-4, and that again is a blank. Randolph, go to Randolph's card, 5-6, and that is a G5. That's going to be a ground ball to third, handled by Rose, and he will throw to first for out number 2. The next batter is Jim Hunter, and to be fair to the Reds, I know Hunter's pitching a shutout. He's pitching a 2-hit shutout here, but because there's nobody on base, I'm actually going to let him bat. I'm going to let Jim. He can still pitch. He can still pitch to a number of batters yet. I'm going to let Hunter bat here, since he's pitching a 2-hit shutout. Because right now he's pitching an absolute gem. So again, I'll use pitcher hitting card number 7. So Sarmiento is a 5-3. That is a blank. We'll go to Hunt. We'll go to the pitcher card, pitcher hitting card. 3-6, and that's a K. They'll strike him out, and that'll retire the side. So 1, 2, 3 goes the Yankees there, and they're still holding on to a 2-0 lead here. Going to the bottom of the 7th. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Still sing, take me out to the ball game. I will be right back. My next presentation, as I said, I'm doing a couple of demo games because try to make the seasons uniform, because I've done a demo game for every season of my inside pitch replays, except for 1976 and 1985. Today we're doing the 76 replay. I will do another demo game featuring the 1985 World Series teams, and that's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. That game will be at Royal Stadium. I will do that at 12 noon on Sunday, June 4th. So that's the schedule for that. For those of you who still want a little bit of a little inside pitch fix while I'm in the off-season mode before we start the 2016 season in a little over a month. So, so that'll be another broadcast from me. It will be the Cardinals and the Royals 1985 demo game we'll do that next, and we'll do that on Sunday, the 4th of June. Bottom of the 7th here in this demonstration game. Yankees lead the Reds 2-0. A home run, a 2-run bomb by Fred Stanley. Unlike a very unlikely hero. George Foster will lead off for the Reds, and he is 0 for 2. So Catfish is catfishing. Hunter will go ahead and pitch. That's a 6-4, and a split chance comes up. Against the righty, it's a blank. Against the lefty, it's a walk plus. Foster is a righty, and that will be a blank. Foster gets to swing, and that is a 1-5. And Foster gets an S7. That's going to be a base hit, a line drive hit into left field. And that is the first hit for the Reds since the 2nd inning. So Foster gets a leadoff single, and the Reds are on board. Here comes a double play as we bring the infielders in. Remember, infield double play depth, range plays are reduced by 1, okay? But the double play ratings are increased by 1. Here comes Mr. Bench. Mr. Benchmark is 1 for 2. He had a leadoff double in the 2nd. Strategy rolls are active. So we have a 2 plus 1 is a 3. A 1 to 3, Foster gets the steal sign. And Bench being a 12, and it's a +2. So a 1 to 3, he gets a steal sign. A 4 or 5, a hit and run is possible. and that is a 6. There's not going to be a play. So bench will swing away normally. So Hunter, he will go ahead and pitch, and that's a 4-4. And that is a walk chance. Against a righty, bench is a 17. Plus 1 is an 18. That's a 12. He walked bench. So now the Reds are in business. As he walks bench. So now runners at first and second with nobody out. And now here comes Perez. Perez is 0 for 2. They go talk to Hunter on the mound, see if he's all right. Infield is still a double play depth. We still roll the strat. And that is a 1. Foster actually gets the steal sign to go to third. 2 plus 1 is 3. But on a steal to go to third, it's divided by 2, which becomes a 1.5, and you round down, which is a 1. That is a 1. Foster does get the steal sign to go to third, but they're going to hold him because you don't want to give yourself any extra, give an extra out, although he had a very good chance to do it. 17 minus 1 is 16, and Munson is a 0, but they're going to let him stay there and let Perez swing. That's why the strategy roll to me is a bench coach telling you what's available at that time. Hunter will pitch. 2-4. Strikeout chance against a righty. Perez is an 11. Plus 1 makes him a 12. That is an 18. He does not strike out Perez. Perez gets the swing. 4-2. And now we'll finally get to use the the runner advancement card. That is an S9. That's going to be a base hit to right field by Tony Perez. It's a single to right. So now let's take a look first at the runner at second base. Foster's base running rating is a 3. A single to right, second to home is a 0 because Roy White has a good arm. He's a -1 arm in right field. Okay? So a single to right, second to home is a 0. So now you know that, and there's only no outs, so you'll use the base running rating. So Foster's base running rating is a 3. You do roll, when you roll the die, you use this result for every runner on base. For every runner on base to see if they advance. So his base running rating is a 3. A 1 to 3, he will score. A 4 to 5, he would hold. A 6, there's a possible out at second. There's a possible out. It is a 2. So Foster has a base running rating of 3. That is a 2. Foster will come around to score. Bench has a base running rating of 3, and that is a 2. He will take third. And Perez will take first base. The only way you check to see if a batter takes an extra base on a hit is on a 1. A 1 is the only way you check to see if the batter took an extra base. And I'll show you the chart here. So a 2 to 5, if a roll is higher than adjusted base runner rate, the runner holds. This applies to all runners that were on base. Otherwise, advance 1 base. The only way you check to see if the batter goes is on a 1. Okay, on the second die roll. And lead roll advances if roll is higher than trailing runner's base running rating. No adjustment. The trailing runner holds. Otherwise, advance 1 base. Trailing runners include the batter. So that's the only way. So it's an RBI single by Perez, which will score Foster. Bench to third. That is a base hit. And we got a 2-1 ball game. As the Reds finally break through on Catfish. And now the batter is Geronimo. So now we have some excitement here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now, in this case, you're going to call the infield in, because you do not want bench to score easily. When the infield is in, the base runner rating on third, the base runner on third is reduced by 2, so he has a 1 in order for him to try to score. Range plays are reduced by 2 in the infield. Geronimo is the batter. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Strategy rolls are still active. I still roll, and that's a 9. Perez is a 2, plus 1 is a 3. The 9 is too high for anything. So they're not going to have there's not going to be a play. Bench on it third, Perez on it first. Catfish will pitch. And that is a 5-3. That is a walk. That is a 12 against a righty. Geronimo is a 10, plus 1 is 11. The 12 is high. He does not walk Caesar. Caesar gets the swing. 6-4, and that is going to be an F9. That is a fly ball to right. That's a fly ball to right field. So that's hit to Roy White. That is hit to Roy White. That's going to be a fly out to right. That is out number 1. Now we check to see if a sacrifice fly occurs. Geronimo has a sacrifice fly rating of 2. You first roll to see if he gets it. A 1 or 2, the ball was automatically hit deep enough for Bench to score. Nope. So now he does not hit it deep enough. Now Bench gets a chance. Now the runner has a chance to go. His base running rating is a 3. You subtract the right fielder arm, who in this case is Roy White, and that is a -2. A 1 or a 2, Bench will score. A 3 or 5, he holds. A 6, or could be a play at the plate. That is a 6. So now a 6 comes in. So now Bench is on his way, and now we once again check Roy White's arm rating. His arm rating is a -1. Now you get to see the this mechanic activated. It's a -1. So it's a 6. You then check the chart. You then check the chart here on an arm check. A -1 here. A -1 on it. Then you took under here, and you see what the result is. A 1 to 4. You'll check the third die roll of this chart here, of this chart, to see if there's an out. A 5 to 6, the runner holds. So a 1 to 4, there could be there's definitely going to be a play. It is a 1, so there's now a play. So Bench is on his way home. Now we roll again to see what we have here. A roll of a 1, lead runner advances, ball caught off, and the trailing runner is thrown out, which means that Bench would score. Perez would be thrown out at second would be thrown out at second. A 2 or a 5, the lead runner is thrown out. If the roll is higher than the trailing runner, the base runner then holds. Otherwise, advance 1 base. On a roll of 6, the lead runner advances, ball caught off, and the trailing runner is going to run down. So pretty much it's very simple. A 2 or a 5, a 2 to 5, Bench is thrown out at the plate. And he is. And now, if the roll is higher than the trailing runner base runner rating, the runner holds. That is a 3. Perez's base running rating is a 2. He does not take second on the throw, but Bench is thrown out at the plate. 2 down. So a great play by right fielder Roy White, who guns down Bench at the plate. And there are 2 away. Perez holds it first since he did not have the speed. So infield in changes Bench's base rating to 1, as he was at third base if infield was in. But an F9 Bench's base run back to 3. That is correct. That is correct. His base running rating goes back to his normal base running rating. His normal base running rating if it's hit to the outfield. Only on a grounder to a runner on the infield when the infield to a fielder on the infield is in. Because with using that, it makes you want to make a decision if you want to send them or not. So it's 2 to, so the sacrifice, he does not get the sacrifice fly. It's a fly out to right. And Bench is gunned down at the plate. So there are 2 outs. Nice play by Roy White. So now there comes up Concepcion. Stadium groans. P-Jet joins us here for some Riverfront, for some demo game action. Concepcion is 0 for 2, and there are now 2 outs, as the Yankees have a 2-1 lead now. We still have a strategy roll. Perez's attempt rating is a 2, +1 is a 3. That is a 9. Concepcion adds +3, which makes him a 6 for a hit and run chance. Doesn't happen. So Hunter will go ahead and will pitch. Hunter is a 2-4, and that is a K. That's a strikeout chance against the righty. Concepcion's a 7, +1 is an 8. That's a 19. He doesn't strike him out. Concepcion gets the swing, 6-6, and that is a G3. That's a ground ball to first. As Chambliss will go ahead and take it himself. He calls off Hunter. He'll tag the bag and retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk, and a big assist at the plate by Roy White to gun down Johnny Bench. It's 2-1 after 7 in this demo game. So I hope that that mechanic now with the flyouts and a chance to throw a runner out at the plate or anything, I hope that was made clear. One thing about these demo games, you can always rewind in the replay to make sure I got it right. And of course, I make mistakes too. We go to the top of the eighth. I'm going to let let's see if I'm going to let Sarmiento pitch here. Mickey Rivers leads off for the Yankees. He is 1 for 3. You got a lefty, a switch, and a righty. I'm going to let Sarmiento pitch to Rivers. So top of the eighth, 2-1 Yankees here in this demo game. Sarmiento, a 1-3. That's a split chance against the righty. It's a strikeout chance against the lefty. It's an automatic out. Rivers is a lefty. That is an out. And now you check, and it's a star line, so you check to see what it is. That is a 5, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. So Rivers goes ahead and grounds out to third, and there is one down. Here comes Roy White, who gets a few boos from the Riverfront crowd. Sarmiento will go ahead and pitch. 4-5. It comes again a split chance against the righty, strikeout chance against the lefty. It's an out. Roy White is a switch hitter, so he against a right-handed pitcher, he is batting left. That's going to be an out. And that's going to be a fly out to left. An F7 is a fly ball to left field, so leaving Sarmiento in there looks like to be the good call, and that's out number 2. Here comes Thurman Nuclear Warfare. Munson is 0 for 3, though, looking for his first hit. Sarmiento goes ahead, and he will pitch on his card, 6-6. That is a blank. We go right to the batter card. Munson, a 5-4, and that is an F8, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. And getting over there will be Geronimo, and he will make the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3. Nice job by Sarmiento. And we'll go to the bottom of the eighth here. Just curious, you still allow hit and run with 2 outs? No. And I really don't see why you would. I mean, I don't see why you would. A hit and run with 2 outs. Hit and runs are designed. I think hit and runs are designed for batters that don't bunt very well. Maybe, I don't know. I know the bunt rating. I know the bunt rating is good for players that bunt. I know there are players that can hit and run well. And plus he got speed. I guess it's kind of like I guess that a hit and run is designed for a batter that maybe has good contact, and you got a guy with good speed on the base pads as well, and you don't want to take a chance on a straight steal. But a hit and run, maybe you can get and the hit and run also tries to get you to stay out of the double play too. That's what the hit and run is really designed, to stay you out of the double play. We go to the bottom of the eighth here, and we'll see a pinch hitter for Manny Sarmiento, as he was the next batter. So let's see what we're going to have. And Jim Hunter is going to stay on the mound, and the Reds are going to bring in Mike Lum. He's the only lefty that's left on the bench here that I have here. And it's the 8th inning, so we'll do with Mike Lum. He'll bat against Hunter here. Lum, a 228 average, 3 homers, and 20 RBI. So Mike Lum will go up against Jim Hunter. Probably have to override certain strategy rules in the game situation. That's what I do. I know I did mention the hit and run, but I forgot the how many outs there were. But yeah, I usually don't hit and run with runners on 2 outs. But it is an attempt to get runners in scoring position. That is correct, Mr. Hunt. Hunter will pitch. He's still got plenty in the tank. Hunter, 2-4, and that is a K. It's a strikeout chance. Against the righty, Lum is 11, plus 1 is a 12. That's a 17. Doesn't strike him out. Lum gets the swing, 4-5, and that is an F9. That's going to be a fly ball hit the right. And Roy White will make the catch, 1 out. Top of the batting order, here is Peter Rose, and he is 1 for 3. 2-1 Yankees. Good pitchers duel we had here for the 76 demo game. Pretty much had a lot of everything in this game. Hunter, 3-5. That's an @ sign. We go to at the ballpark. We go to Riverfront Stadium. 6'4", and that's going to be an S7. That's going to be a base hit to left field for Pete Rose. So Rose goes ahead and hits one into left. He gets his second hit of the game, and the tying run is on. And now the batter is Griffey. Griffey is 0 for 2 with a walk. Rose only had 9 stolen bases that year. Infield is at double play depth. Is Geronimo rated a 5 in center field this season? No, he is rated a 2. He is rated a 2 in center field this season. He is rated a range play of 2, but only a 3 on errors. As I said earlier, I don't want to get into arguments about ratings. This is his game engine. It's set up the way it is. I usually don't argue ratings with Chris. It's what he has it at, and that's it. That's one thing about inside pitch. The inside pitch cards, you can do whatever you want to the card. You want to change your rating? Go ahead. Just mark that. You want to make Griffey a 5 in right field? Just mark out the 1 and make a 5 if you want. If you think the ratings are way off, you guys can do whatever you want, especially if you have a PDF, because if you get the PDF season, then you can just, and you have a PDF editor, you can actually change the card. You can actually change his PDF. I have a PDF editor, which I do use, but I have all his cards printed, not in PDF form. Okay, but I use that to get my fringe players printed out normally. I'll show you what I mean with a fringe player when the inning is over. So Rose is on at first, Griffey the batter. Strategy rolls are still in effect, and that is a 17. And there's not now 17. Griffey has a bunt rating of 1. That's not going to be a bunt. It just puzzles you. I know. Every game engine has its caveats. There is no perfect game engine anywhere. I'm here to demonstrate the game. I'm not here to bash any others to show the difference. Although I have said a few things, yes, but I don't mention those other games. Hunter will pitch. Hunter is a 4-6. That's a K. That's a strikeout chance. Against a righty, Griffey is an 8 plus 1 with the ballpark makes him a 9. That's a 16. He doesn't get him. Hunter has not had many strikeouts in this game, and he had 173 of them in 76. Griffey, a 1-2, and that's going to be a double. That's going to be a star line 6. And we go to Hunter's card, and that is an F8. That's going to be a fly out to center. So fly out to center. Rose will stay at first base, and there are 2 outs. And now the batter is Morgan, and Morgan is 0 for 3. Rose on at first. Strategy roll has a 1 plus 1 is a 2, and that is a 12, nothing happening. A 2 would have been a stolen base chance. Morgan with a 5 would have been, 3 to 5 would have been a hit and run chance, but of course with 2 outs, I don't hit and run anyway. Rose on at first. Catfish trying to keep this a 2-1 game. Hunter, a 5-4. That's a split chance. Against the righty, it's a strikeout plus. Against the lefty, it's a blank. Morgan is a lefty. That is a blank. Morgan gets the swing. Morgan, a 5-2, and that's going to be a G3. That's going to be a ground ball to first. Chambliss will get to it. He'll call off Hunter. He'll tag the bag and retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Reds. And the Yankees holding on to a 2-1 game here. A 2-1 game here after 8. Still watching it be played. Just wish there were some ratings come from. He gets his ratings from Retro Sheet. And of course the calculations he uses. Inside pitch is actually an old game. It's a bit of an old game because he went through a number of enhancements that he did with it, and he did change a few things, I think, going into later on. But his game engine works the way it does for the way for how his game engine works, designed for this compared to other game engines that are out there. For instance, ratings, let's put it this way. Can we say that ratings in inside pitch, if you were to go ahead and convert them to ratings for like Stratomatic, I don't think the game would be accurate in Stratomatic. That's how I think it would be, if I want to say it that way. Inside pitch ratings would not work for if you were to convert them to Stratomatic ratings, I bet you Stratomatic would be off. Just like if I took Stratomatic ratings and converted them into inside pitch ratings would be off. Every game engine has their certain calculations for their ratings. Whatever it is, that's where it comes from. The only way to really test the ratings is to do a full season replay with one team. And as far as I've been told, the ratings have been accurate enough. Of course, you're going to get some surprises and outliers, but of course you want some of that. We go to the top of the 9th inning in this demo game. We're almost done. Chris Chambliss is going to lead off for the Yankees. They got a lefty, a righty, and a lefty. And the Reds are going to bring out a pitcher. And we're going to bring out a lefty out here, I think. And it will be, well, in this case, it's the 9th inning. So in this case, I think you just want to bring out the best pitcher you have. And that's what they're going to do. Here comes Raleigh Eastwick. 11 wins, 5 losses, 26 saves, a 2.09 ERA. Raleigh Eastwick will come on to pitch for the Reds. Chris Chambliss leads off here on the top of the 9th. 2-1 Yankees. John West joins us here for a little demo action. Demo game here between the Yankees and the Reds, 1976. Eastwick will pitch. 1-3. That's an ET question mark, error on a throw. We then go to Chambliss's card. 4-4. That is a ground ball to second base. It could be an error. The ball is hit to second. That is Morgan. Joe Morgan's error rating is a 6. That is a 3. He's going to make a throwing error to first base. Now, an error on a throw, the first baseman's range is Tony Perez is a 4. So it's going to be an error on Morgan. A 1-4, but you do roll the baseball for the first baseman's range to see if the ball gets past him. A 1-4, he will prevent the ball from getting past him, and Chambliss is safe at first. A 5 or a 6, Chambliss does have a chance to take second. It is a 4, so it's off the bag or threw it too high. It took him off the bag. So Chambliss is going to be safe on an E4, and that is the first error on the Reds. And I'll show you the chart here a little bit here. So an error on a throw on a G4 is a 6. And it says, throwing error with potential for advancing another base on bad throw. Go through steps below, and if possible, double play chance, check for throwing errors in the fielder first and the pivot man. You'll check against the range of the errant throw receiver. If higher than his range, step 2. Otherwise, he kept the poor throw from getting by him, thus making it only a 1 base error. I thought I'd show you the chart so you can see it, since this is a demonstration, so you're not seeing anything wrong. Great fun, but it's close to objective as it can be. Geronimo is a fast by Eric Davis, too. And Brooks Robinson has a crummy range rating I saw. As I said, Jeff, it's close to objective. I understand that, And John West says he played 2 replay seasons in Strat, and the stats have been amazingly accurate. I totally get what you said about using inside pitcher stats and putting them in Strat. As I said, it just game engines for one. The system they use for one engine will not work in another engine. I think I can guarantee that. And just because he's brought up, let me see something here. Let's see here. Timeout on the field. Let me go to Baseball Reference for a second. Let me bring in Cesar Geronimo, since there is something here. Cesar Geronimo. Let's see. What was his fielding? Let's see. In 1976, his fielding rating, his range in 1976. Well, he had a fielding percentage of .985 in center field for 1976, and his range factor was a 2.96. He's had higher and he's had lower. Remember, Cesar Geronimo played 149 games as well, but his range factor is a 296, which I still don't understand. Put outs plus assists per innings played. It's all subjective, as you said. It all depends. You're trying to convince yourself to buy it. Just try it out. Buy a PDF season, or just buy it. Just try it. What do you got to lose, Jeff? What do you got to lose? You might like it. I like it because of the excitement. You really don't know what's going to happen. Hence, how my seasons have gone. So Chambliss is safe at first on an error. Infield double play. So now we'll bring up Piniella. Piniella is 1 for 3. So we do have an error in the game, which is nice to see. So Eastwick gives up on an error. Strategy rolls are still on. Chambliss can only go on a hit and run, but I doubt he's going to do anything. We still roll a strat anyway. And that's a 10, nothing happening. You got the PC game of inside pitch. Yes, the PC game plays exactly like the cards and dice. The one thing I like about the cards and dice, though, I feel like you're actually more involved when you're moving stuff around instead of clicking buttons. Eastwick, 3-3. So we check him out, and that is a K. That is a strikeout chance. Against a righty, Piniella is a 14. +1 is a 15. That's a 7. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. And Eastwick gets a big strikeout there, 1 down. And the next batter will be Nettles. Nettles is 0 for 3. You just wish you understood it. Well, like I said, there's always different. Like I said, Jeff, every game has changes. Every game has that. Have you found any game that is perfectly? Have you found any game that is perfect when it comes to ratings? Stratomatic, APA, Fall Classic. Have you found any game that is 100% perfect in every rating they've gotten to? I've not found it. Not inside pitch, not payoff pitch, not strat, not APA, not Fall Classic, not any game. There is no game that's perfect. A couple of random questions. Talk about relief pitcher stamina fatigue ratings. Also, I never do as played lineups. Don't throw tomatoes at me. How does the injury ratings chart work? Okay. Let's see here. Talk about relief pitcher stamina fatigue. Relief pitcher, the number 6, is the amount of batters he can face before he fatigues when these parentheses results come into play. And 2 is the pull rating, how many hits or walks or runs he gives up before you might consider pulling him. Okay. You never do as played lineups. Don't throw tomatoes at place. How does the injury ratings chart work? Well, when I do an as played game, they're only game day injuries. They're only game day injuries. Okay, that's how I do it. But if you have a player that gets hurt, okay, you then use the injury chart that he has on his rare play chart, and the only way you get injuries is on the rare play. So here's his injury chart here. And depending on the injury, so here's Raleigh Eastwick, injury rating of 0. So if an injury came up somewhere in the rare play, you would roll on here, and this would tell you how long he's going to be out for. Maybe none, he could be fine, could be out for the game. Re-roll on the next chart again, re-roll again, or here. This is how these come through here. Okay. So that's how you come through the injuries. Injuries will always occur on a rare play. They will not occur on a ball. On some cards and some systems say a player is injured right off the card. An injury should always be a rare play. It should never come off a batter or a pitcher card. Seems mad the Reds in my younger days are the farthest off. That could be better, but compared to other. They publish their ratings so you can create your own sets. Exactly. Compared to other games, I don't think injuries come up that often in this game. Hey, Rick, did you look? How many injuries did I have in the 1988 postseason? Had a lot of them. Had a lot of injuries in my 88 postseason. Not in the regular season though, because I do as played. But postseason, I mean, you had what, 5, maybe 4, 5, 6 injuries. A few players were knocked out of the completely out for the playoffs. Who knows? 88 had a lot of injury. I had a good number of injuries in 1988 in the 88 postseason. We're playing with 22 and doing as played. Yep. As played is great. And then again, about people say, well, why as played? As played in a way kind of makes it easy for you to set the game up. You already got the lineups. You already know who's out there. You already know who's on the roster for that game. Fine. No problem. Okay. if you make your own lineups, okay, you want to go ahead. You will if you're playing an alternate replay and you're not using as played lineups, I don't call it a replay. You got to call it an alternate replay because some of the stats will be skewed. Some of the stats will be skewed. Like if I went ahead and did a 1986 Mets replay, utilizing the same exact lineup every single game, I know for a fact I'm going to have some skewed results for the postseason. The best lineup they could use every single game in an 86 Mets replay, or a 69 Mets replay, or if you want, a 61 Yankee replay, and you didn't use as played, you're going to get some skewed results because some batters are going to have more at bats than others and less. So let's see. So Nettles is a bat. We're in the top of the ninth inning. We're in the top of the ninth inning. 2-1 Yankees. Strategy rolls are still on, and I already rolled it. And I think I'll re-roll the strat again because I lost track. Nothing happening. So Nettles is at bat. Eastwick is pitching. 1 out. Top of the ninth. 2-1. Eastwick. There's a 4-2. That is a K. It's a strikeout chance against the righty. Nettles is a 13. +1 is a 14. That's a 15. He does not strike him out. Wow. So Nettles gets the swing. Nettles is a 5-6. That is a question mark 8 to center field. This is a possible hit. I kind of call this a power check. A power check to center field. Now you go to the top of the batting order. A power check to center. Against the righty, you use Nettles' set here. That is a 7. Against the righty, Nettles just smacked a double into center field. So we now have a double to center, and now we check to see if Chambliss scores. Chambliss is a base running rating of 2. Center fielder for Geronimo has a 0 arm. And when you hit a ball to center field, I'm doing this the long way, not the card. And when you hit a ball to center field, the runner on first has a +1. So it's a 2, nothing from the arm, so it's a 3. And we do check here to make sure. So it's a +1, a double to center with a runner on center field by Geronimo. So a double to center field, a 1-3, Chambliss will score. A 4-5, he holds a third. A 6, there could be an out. It is a 4. Chambliss will not score. He will hold at third. So Chambliss will not score. He holds at third. And that's a big run at third base on a double by Greg Nettles. And now 2 big runs on base. And here comes Fred Stanley, who already has a home run in the ball game. He's 1 for 3. The thing about this is other games you get like a double and 3 stars. Okay, so a double and 3 stars. So on some games you get a double and runners advance 2 bases or automatically 3 bases. So no matter who is in the outfield, no matter who's on base, that runner scores. Or you could have the fastest runner in baseball history and he can't score from third. That's why, to me, the base running mechanic, there's nothing more to me. It just makes sense with the base running mechanic and inside pitch. You can't use a chart. So a player that is mud should never should never move up an extra base. A player that is so fast, he should not be held. That's why that base running mechanic comes in play. So now I got Chambliss on at third, Nettles on at second, Eastwick in some trouble, Stanley the batter. The infield's going to come in here with 1 out, with the Yankees leading 2-1. We still roll a strategy roll, and that's a 20. But Eastwick, however, has nothing across here, so no play occurs. So Eastwick will concentrate on Stanley. Infield is in, 1 out. Eastwick rolls a 4-5, and that is a K. That's a strikeout chance against the righty. Stanley is a 9, +1 is a 10. That's a 3. He got him. That's a big strikeout to get Stanley 2 away. Now the infield will move back. And now the batter is Randolph. Randolph is 2 for 3, 2 singles and 2 stolen bases. Chambliss on at third, Nettles on at second. Eastwick trying to keep it where it is. He's not tired yet. He's pitched to 4 batters. Strategy roll, and that is a 17. Nothing happening there. Randolph's bunt rating is a 3, so he did not make it. It has to be an 18 to a 19. Here comes the pitch from Eastwick. Eastwick is a 2-1, and that is a blank. We go to Randolph's card. Randolph is a 5-3, and that's going to be a G5. It'll be a ground ball to third, picked up by Rose. He'll get it. He'll throw to first, and the Reds get out of inning. No runs, 1 hit, and an error. And it's 2-1 here in favor of the Yankees. But even though this is a demo game, will we see some 9th inning magic? As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 2-1. That's the big plus. And say, what about as far as mixing seasons matchups? Maybe do a series of the 84 Cubs and 2003 Cubs. According to Chris, you can match it up all that you like. The players are gonna play the way they did, no matter what the year is. I don't think there's there's no normalization. There's no, in other words, having Sandy Koufax from old Sandy Koufax, okay, pitching in today's world. I mean, if you want to normalize it, you can, but there's no normalization for his matchups. If you want to do an 84 Cubs versus 2003 Cubs, he said you can do it if you want. I mean, do what you want with the game. It's yours. Do what you want. Do what you want to do with the game. It's yours. Customize it the way you want. You want to change a few things, that's fine. I mean, that's okay. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. George Foster is going to bat for the Reds. Hunter is going to come out, and I think the Yankees will go to their closer. And so Hunter's going to come out of the game. That'll be it for him. And you got a lot of choices here. You got George Foster. You got 3 righties on them. You got 3 righties coming up. So coming on to close for the New York Yankees will be a guy named Dirt. So here comes Dick Dirt Tidrow. 4 wins, 5 losses, 10 saves, a 2.63 ERA. They're going to let Tidrow try to close this game out. Some guy by the name of Dirt. How can you not love a baseball player named Dirt? Foster will lead off, bottom of the 9th, 2-1. At this game in Riverfront Stadium, a nice demo game here. Tidrow will pitch. A 1-3. That's an ET ? Error on a throw. We go to Foster's card. Right 3-3, and that is a G4. That's going to be a ground ball to second base, and that is hit to Randolph. Randolph's error rating is a 7. That is a 6, and he's going to make an error. He's going to make an error throwing to first. The first baseman is Chambliss, and it's an error on a throw. His range is a 4, a 1-4. Chambliss prevents it from getting past him, and he does, but Foster is safe. Oh, so Randolph makes a big error. And that's an E4. First error on the Yankees. You're very welcome, Mr. West. So Foster on at first. You think that's the only thing I like about inside pitch that doesn't like pitchers can give up extra base hits directly off of one card. This is the system that he uses. He says the pitcher only has control over a few things. Home runs, strikeouts, and walks. That is it. He figures the pitcher only gives up. The only way a batter gets a base hit is off of his own card. It's not a pitcher that gives up a double or a pitcher that gives up a triple. If a home run is hit, it's because the pitcher made a mistake and the batter went ahead and hit the ball out. If it gives up a single, the pitcher made a mistake and the ball got a base hit. The pitcher, he says, only has control over pitchers, over home runs, strikeouts, and walks. Those are the only things he feels that a pitcher has control over. That's why he doesn't allow extra base hits on the pitcher card. Yes, Rick Query is correct. It's called dips. He is correct. He is correct. It's used by it's Voros McCracken's system that he uses. A pitcher should not give up a double just because he gave up a double. The batter has to get the double. Okay, but a pitcher can give up a home run if the ball is put right in the wheelhouse. And that's why you have the home run chances and home run results. So I actually will disagree with you on that. The pitcher should only give up the home runs, base singles, and that's it. The batter has to do the rest. Certain pitchers give up a lot more extra base hits. That's a known fact. True, okay, but not in his system. But not in this system. A lot more extra base hits. It's a known fact. But then again, certain pitchers give a lot more extra base hits. I get that, Jeff, but it's not the pitcher giving it up. It's the batter getting the extra base hit. So the batter put the ball in a area where the defense was not there. You see, you can't go with that. You can't go with that. I'm sorry. I'll disagree with you there. Either way, Foster on it first. And now we've got Bench coming up. And Bench is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. So you got infield will go to double play depth. So the Reds have the tying run at first, and Bench is now the winning run. So the Reds are looking at ninth inning magic here. Very possible. So Tidrow will pitch to Bench. Strategy rolls are still on, and that's a 3. Foster is a 2, -1 is a 1, doesn't get the steal sign. Bench is a 12. He's a +2. So the hit and run's available, but I don't see Bench doing a hit and run here. He's got major home run chances. You got to let him swing the bat. Pitcher certainly gives up more extra base hits because not all batters have the power to regularly hit it out. I can't agree with you on that, Jeff. I'm sorry. The batter still has to put the ball in an area where the fielders don't get it. Of course, you have batters. It's okay, Jeff. I understand what you're trying to do. As I said, I'm going to disagree with you. Foster on it first. Tidrow with the pitch. 2-6. That is a blank. We then go to Bench. Bench is a righty, a 2-5, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. He's going to get out of that one. So it's going to be a fly out to left, and that is out number 1. If you want, though, by the way, Jeff, see these blanks in the pitcher card? These blanks go straight to the batter card. So if you want to think that the pitcher gives up more extra base hits, you can say that he uses the system of blank, which allows the batter to get more extra base hits because blanks go straight to the batter card. So if you want to say that Tidrow gave up a lot of doubles, let's say it hit a blank and then Bench hits a double, that's because of the blanks. That's the blank markers right there. So in a way, Jeff, you are correct. So he uses blanks to go right to the batter card and say, okay, the pitcher just threw a normal pitch. Now let's see what the batter can do. So he uses blanks for that reason. 1 out. And now the batter is Perez. Perez is 1 for 3. Still 1 out here. Fought the tying run at first. Hanging curves are hanging curves. Greg Maddox not the same as Jack Billingham. True. That is a 14. Nothing happening. Tidrow will go ahead and make the pitch against Perez. Tidrow, 5-4. That is a home run. That's a split chance. A home run a home run result against the lefty. Against a righty, it's a walk chance. Perez is a righty. Perez against a righty. Perez is a 9. +1 is a 10. That's a 3. He walked him. So Tidrow walks Perez, and now the tying run's at second base. If Perez had a home run, if Perez was a lefty, that was going to be gone. So now runners at first and second with 1 out. And now the batter is Geronimo. And now they're going to wonder what they're going to do with Tidrow here. And Tidrow pitched to 3 batters, and he's coming out. So they're going to bring in another pitcher to pitch to Geronimo. Geronimo does not hit lefties as well. So the Yankees will bring in a lefty. And it is going to be, coming on to pitch for the Yankees, will be Sparky Lyle. 7 wins, 8 losses, 23 saves, a 2.26 ERA. Lyle will now try to get the save. Foster on at second. Perez on at first. 2 out, 1 out, double play still check. Sparky Lyle now coming on to try to close this demo game out. Fans here at Riverfront Stadium truly enjoying the ball game now. Strategy rolls are still active. That is a 19. Geronimo gets the bunt sign, but he's not bunting. He's swinging. Lyle will go ahead and he will make the pitch. Lyle, 5-5. Home run chance against the lefty. A 1-10. The 7 is good. Against the lefty, Geronimo needs a 4. A 1-4. Geronimo gives the Reds the win. No, it's a 15. He does not do it. But Geronimo does get to swing. Geronimo, 2-6. And that's going to be a double star 1. We go to Lyle. It's a G5. It's a possible double play. It's a ground ball to third. We got to first see where it was hit. So runners at first and second, grounder to third base, roll a 1d6. It is a 4. It's right at the third baseman. Choice of force only at third base, or try to second to first double play. Right at the third baseman. Now you can take a chance and say you got the force play, but I think you're going to try for 2. So it's hit right at the first base. So Geronimo was a 1. Lyle's a +1, which makes him a 2. Double play depth makes him a 3. Willie Randolph has a +1 pivot. That is a 4. A 1-4. This ball game is over. It's a 3, so it's hit right to third. Picked up there by Nettles. Throws to Randolph for 1. Throws on to Chambliss for 2. Double play. That's your game. The Yankees will come away with the win. A 2-1 victory here at Riverfront Stadium. Stadium barfs. Blech. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and there was an error as Sparky Lyle gets the big-time save. He gets the twin killing. And that is a big win there for the Yankees in this demo game. So the Yankees will take a 2-1 victory over the Reds in this demo game. And they will get it done. So that is a demo. Final line score coming up. For the Yankees, 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. For the Reds, 1 run on 5 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Catfish Hunter. He'll get the win. Pat Zachry will take the loss. Tidrow does get credit for Tidrow. Does not get a hold because he allowed base run. He actually does get credit for a hold because nobody scored on him still. But Sparky Lyle will get the save. So he will get the save. So the Yankees will take a 2-1 win here at Riverfront Stadium on a good pitcher's duel between Catfish Hunter and Pat Zachry. A good game here, demo game for Inside Pitch Baseball. So I just got to say, guys, it was terrific. I just thought I'd demo the game out to you. If anybody has any issues with anything in ratings and stuff like that, feel free to change. And like I said, you can always play the game that you wish to play. But this is the reason why I like Inside Pitch so much. It's just exciting. It's just a great game to play. And really, you really just don't know what will happen in a game of inside pitch. If I was to replay this demo game, it would go a lot differently. That's for sure. So it had a wonderful time here, and I had a wonderful time doing it for you guys. Oh yes, got to show the fringe. Yes, I did. Let me show you here. Let's see here. Now, for those of you the one thing about inside pitch baseball that some other gaming companies, okay, don't do, they don't give you every single player. Okay, you get every single player with inside pitch, but some of them are fringe players. Some are he doesn't print out every single player printed. So he has a set of players that you can download, and then print your way. This is a printed card right here, as you can see the perforation right there. Okay. I will now bring in a fringe player. As you can tell the difference, and this was printed out with my older printer though, but because I have a new printer now. But here is a fringe player from here. You can tell in this one here, the font's a little different. He was using a different font early. Okay, but this is what a fringe player looks like. And I printed this on the same card stock that he uses. This is a 110-pound card stock, and this is also a 110-pound card stock. What you want to do, if you want to make sure these cards are perfectly matched to the cards that come with the actual printed set, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want a PDF. You're going to want a PDF viewer, okay? A PDF or PDF editor. You're gonna want one really, a PDF editor, and then you're gonna download the fringe players from that season that you want. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to crop the players. You're gonna remove the outside margins because it's gonna come with very big, large outside margins. That'll blow up the screen a little bit, and then when you print these, you want these printed out at 104%. You print out 104%, 104%. Okay, you want to increase the size of the print of the page 100 to 104%, and if you do that, you get practically a virtually perfect sized fringe player card that. And then, of course, you can use a cutter like I do because I use a cutter. I use a paper cutter, to cut the fringe players down, and to get them, as you can see, practically perfect right there. That's the exact same card size. You really couldn't tell, from the pack. So you want to download the fringe players, crop the white margins out, okay? Crop out the white margins, and then when you print, 104% is the size you want. I found 105 to be too big there, Rick. I actually looked at 105%. It came out to be too big. It didn't leave enough room on the cards all the way to the right. I found 104. This is done 104, and you can see it's practically perfect. It's good enough. It's good enough for me. So if you don't want cards that are smaller than the actual print, 104% should be about right. 104% should be about right, and you should get very good fringe players. The colors may not match 110%. The colors may not match 110%, but oh well. You got to give up something when it comes to it. Okay, the colors may not match 100% because remember, you're using a different style of ink in your printers. He uses a different style of ink in his printers, okay? So it can come out like that, all right? And, the ink in your printer may not always be the same ink he uses. Remember, he does it professionally with his own setup because he prints out every season he does, okay? So the ink, it's not going to always look 110% perfect. It'll be good enough for you there. Well, guys, that is it. That's going to conclude this demo game for 1976. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the 76 playlist at the beginning. So people can, if they want to watch my 1976 replay, they can check it out. And of course, I have a demo game for it. Next week, I will do another demo game. I will do 1985, and that will be the St. Louis Cardinals against the Kansas City Royals at Royal Stadium. I'll do that on Sunday at 12 p.m. So if you want to watch another demo game, that'll be the next one. We still have a 2016 demo game coming up on June 25th between the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs. And of course, opening day for the 2016 season is July 3rd, featuring the New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals. I will go ahead and do that, my good man. So I want to thank, there's so many of you guys that joined me. I just want to thank everybody. Brian B., Rick Query, Brandon Baker, Thomas Bartlett, Jeff Merklin, Scoon 007. Let's see here, Doug Hunt, Steeler fan, of course. Let's see, Brian Patterson, John West, Dave Little, P-Jet. Let's see here, Mr. Moley 55, Modest King, Baseball with the Demos, Captain Carl 8. And David Vega, Ronald Spersky, Beatles Eternally, Legend Sports Universe, Jeremy Brooks. Thank you all for joining me today. Please leave a like on the way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys on next Sunday for another demo game. The Yankees go ahead and pull it out here against the Reds in a demonstration game. They beat the Reds here 2-1. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.